All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you are having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I am great. I got up early. I've been for a run already. I've done some housework, and I'm ready for a day of trading. And everyone out there, get ready, like right now, for trading. Normally, it's 9:30 when we wait for the market open. Today could be, maybe, a day when trading happens. So maybe we should go right to the economic calendar because I feel like I should let people know. It could be a fiery day today. I just don't know. Or it could be a nothing day. Like, you just never know with these things. Right now, Carlos, I don't know what happened, but in some sort of gross bureaucratic oversight, our invites to the World Economic Forum in beautiful Davos, Switzerland, although I hear it's beautiful. I've never been. I haven't been invited. I don't know how our invite got missed, but somehow we're still here. But anyways, a record number, about 3,000 world leaders and influential economic luminaries have gathered in Davos to talk about global finance and, of course, the actions of the Trump presidency and what's been going on with the U.S. is center of discussion. In fact, European leaders have been having some, private sessions where it's rumored they're talking about a couple of things, including, of course, what their response is going to be to Trump's request for Greenland. NATO, apparently, leaders have also been talking about potentially pulling the trigger on a something that's never been used in NATO, which is an anti-coercion clause in there that could allow NATO to put some punishing tariffs back on the U.S. because of Trump's request for Greenland. So I mentioned this because, of course, as a backdrop, that information surely is back to the Trump administration. Now, whether they're passing that to him directly or not, we obviously don't know. However, President Trump himself is speaking, well, scheduled right now to be speaking in Davos. Now, the topic of his speech is supposed to be on homelessness, global homelessness. However, unless you've been hiding under a rock for the last decade, you know darn well that Trump will speak about whatever Trump wants to. And we know that in the past, he's wanted to speak about his Nobel Peace Prize. He wants to talk about Greenland. He wants to, I just can't see him speaking a lot about homelessness. It's probably there on the teleprompter. Whether that gets read or not, who knows? So I'm telling you all this because if it gets fiery, we could see some direct impact on the U.S. markets, but it might not. Like, you just don't know. So I'm watching sort of eagerly the markets this morning. I noticed we're gapping down marginally. Both the Qs and the SPY are down, but not by much. I'm not seeing any movement yet. However, I don't really. I was trying to find a live feed for that speech in Davos, and I didn't have one. So we don't know what's happening, right? I don't know when he hits the stage. I don't know when the comments start. And of course, we don't know the content. So there's a lot of unknowns, but I wanted to give you the backdrop because we could see this market suddenly start to move like any second now or not. So anyways, that's all that's happening. Again, while it's happening, normally we don't pay attention to what's happening in Switzerland on any given day, but this is a little bit of a unique situation with President Trump being there and speaking live. Later this morning, we do have construction spending, which is a delayed number. So again, it's October data. I mean, October, like that's forever ago. Anyway, so that's probably not going to be much of an impact. And pending home sales, which normally doesn't move the market. So some data at 10, but I don't think that's the interesting thing. What's interesting is this live speech by Trump at Davos. So there you go. We'll see what's going to be happening. We do have a couple of earnings, Carlos. Earnings season has actually started, believe it or not. We started last night
Yes.
with, I don't know if I was going to say with a bang, but I don't know how much of a bang it was. It was a little bit of a splat, maybe. With Netflix, we'll talk about that because it is topping or near the top of the gap down list. So we'll get there in a few minutes. But and then we have a couple more earnings from this morning that I'm going to let you know about.
All right. Excellent, Peter. We'll get into all of that, friends. Quick look at our gappers list on both sides. Here it is, brought to you by tradingterminal.com. You can head over there and see what's happening. Again, a lot on the green side of things this morning, not so much in the rest. So let's start diving into this and see what we got in play today. PAVM is the first one, up 136% this morning. So rocking here today, was down at around $6.20 at the previous day close yesterday. And today we're seeing a very, very nice move here, 138,000. Float on this one under $1 million. You're going to see the first three or so. Let me count. 1, 2, 3. Yes, 54. Not so much, but the first three definitely, clearly low float tickers. Very close to under 5 million, under 1, under 3, under 1. So these three here, very low flow. Be very careful. Let's start with the first one here we're looking at now. Peter, any news? 130%, 1.2 million shares traded. The volume is there. It's rocking. What's behind it?
Yeah, definitely some news. Their subsidiary, so PavMed is the company. They've got a subsidiary called Lucid Diagnostics, which made a pretty big announcement today, and I'll just read it here so that you know. They've been awarded the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs Federal Supply Schedule contract for its EsoGuard esophageal DNA test, enabling nationwide VA system access at Medicare equivalent pricing. So big deal for them. It means that there's, I mean, it's also good for veterans that they get access to this, especially if you need that esophageal DNA test. But obviously for the company, that would be a significant uptick in sales, especially being their reported sales in the last year. Get ready, 0.03 million. Yes, that's $30,000 in registered sales. So to go from that to whatever this contract is with Veterans Affairs, guaranteed, it's a significant multiplier to their annual revenue. It seems odd to me, Carlos, that a company with only $30,000 in sales has a subsidiary, but whatever. Welcome to corporate world. Anyways, you can see obviously a big impact. 8 million shares traded this morning, 8.5 almost, for a stock that has less than 1 million shares in its float. Yeah, this thing is absolutely in play. It actually looks good. It looks good as a trading opportunity right now. Not the type of thing I normally like to trade. You know, again, we've seen so many of these that are great right now, but as soon as the opening bell rings, it just goes flat. So who knows? But for the moment, looks good.
All right. There we go. So I'm here in chat. I call everybody usually brother or whatever friend. And Nana is telling me, well, as much as I like you when you call me a brother, I am a mama of 4 girls. Thanks anyway. So, you know, I corrected myself. I said, good morning, sister, going forward now. And I remember that. So mama of 4 girls. It's awesome. Awesome.
If yeah, that's
that household. Yeah, that household is tough. It's tough. Are there any boys? Are there any boys? What's going on? Just all girls.
Yeah.
I got 2. I got 2, 3 with my wife. At least me and my son, we try to balance things out. But yeah, that's tough. All right. More power to you girls. All right, let's jump right in, friends. Next, so Peter, this one, I know it's low flow. We don't really dive into it, but man, it is looking nice pre-market though. What's your thoughts on having it on the list? I mean, I know it's not our thing, but clearly in play today.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm watching it. Yes, it's on the list. It's pretty much a popcorn stock.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna put it here in a popcorn ticker. It looks good pre-market if you do like these low flow stocks. All right, continuing here. Let's look at Malbec, not the wine, but Melec is actually. Let's see what this is. Moonlec Science is the name. So Peter, up 43%. Doesn't look really look good. 3.2 million shares trade. I see some movement there. I don't like this as much as I like PAV M. It looks much better for low flow. What's the news on it? But it doesn't really look that exciting here pre-market.
Yeah, it's I like how you called it Malbec. That's good. But no, this is Moolec Science,
Yeah.
which just sounds suspicious on the surface of it, not by the name, but because it's a biotech company out of the Cayman Islands. That's usually I've seen that movie. That's usually where the mad scientist does something really freaky that causes global problems. But anyways, poor scientists at Mulek. They're like, what are you talking about there, Peter? Anyways, 500,000 shares in the float. The news is they basically have a reverse split that happened earlier. They had a 15-for-1 reverse split back on January the 5th, and they're saying this is just sort of a side effect of that. So, yeah, that's not good trading news.
Yeah, it's not great, and it's not looking good either. So we'll leave that one alone. Let's look at the other low flow that's making its way up here. Is BNAI. So BNAI, Brand Engagement Network. So Brand Engagement Network looks like it's moving over here, up 46% this morning, and 20 million shares traded. So the volume is there as high as 11, back to 9. You can see here it's been trading pretty active so far in the pre-market. So, Peter, Brand Engagement Management, not sure what they do, some kind of network, but they're in play today. Probably not going to be on my list, but definitely active this morning.
This feels like a self-licking ice cream cone. Post the memes now. But yes, the Brand Engagement Network announced a $2.05 million exclusive AI licensing partnership in Africa with a company called Valio Technologies. But they, as part of this deal, they got a 25% stake in it. So basically, it's a company that they own that gave them an exclusive contract, or that they partially own, that gave them an exclusive contract to do AI licensing. What is licensing of what? To specifically do what? Nobody knows. It's AI. Nobody cares. You mentioned AI. Yay. This is another company, Carlos. It's a $2 million contract. Remember, in our measurement, in our official measurement category, that's only 12.5% of an Andrew. But this is a company that had $80,000 of revenue last year. So last year, for the whole year, they reported $80,000 of revenue. Again, by Andrew measures, that's 2 days of Andrew trading. So, this is not a huge company. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, not by any means. It's active. I don't love it. I'll leave it alone for now. Let's see what else we have here. HYMC is next, and then we'll look at a few more. I see some minerals as well making their way here, and also some of our better known tickers like BABA. We have Oklo, PDD, ONDS is on here. Intel, man, Intel's. We'll talk about Intel in a second here, and then I see MU as well creeping up. So let's go to HYMC. This one is up 10% this morning, 273,000 shares traded. And look, it says mining. Highcroft Mining is the name of the company. Yep. So I see some mining tickers on there as well. So in play today.
What they mine?
Silver.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Yeah. Well, not Minecraft. That's for sure.
Not Minecraft. No, actual minerals. But and with silver hitting a record $95 an ounce, again, all-time high price. I feel like a broken record saying it, but it keeps happening. All-time high after all-time high for silver prices. It's going to put the silver miners on our list. So here's the first one.
All right, there it is. So again, day trading, these are a little bit more difficult. The volume, you can see it already on the daily, it's not great. Even this pre-market looks very light on volume. And it's funny, I don't remember seeing this one on the list when other ones are in play. Usually we see HL a lot. Again, greater volume. We see it's silver itself, SLV, and some other ones that are probably better to trade and look at than this HYMC. So pick your poison here when it comes to that. But look at it. Are we hitting all-time highs? We did it yesterday. Today, I'm not sure. Yeah, we are doing it. Okay,
Yep.
there it goes.
Oh, yeah.
Just continues. If we'll stop here, we'll skip around a little bit. Maybe Oklo and PDD. I know there's some other ones that that might look
Look at
better. Anyone
I have a
specific, Peter?
special
Yeah.
place for ONDS. Every time I see
Oh
it,
yeah.
we think of our friends in the chat room here that called this out at the
Yeah.
beginning of the year as their trade of the year stock, and it's making news. It's getting volume. It's up at all-time highs. So yeah, they were certainly right. They were calling it out at $9. We're happily now, ensconced in double digits anyway. So at least it's over 10, well over 10.
Mm,
Yesterday it started low and moved higher. Today we're starting at a good rate. Maybe we can get to the all-time high around 15.
yeah.
Um, they had bullish ratings, so they're not, our people are not the only ones noticing it. They had some basically upgrades from Oppenheimer, Needham, and H.C. Wainwright, all, sort of gave bullish ratings on the stock and raised their price targets. So it's, the market's taking note. So obviously Megan's she's been working the phones, making sure that she called her people so that, the analysts start to pump it. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So there you go, friends. No, looking good this morning there so far. All right, I'm gonna stop here, Peter. I know there's some other ones. Let's talk about Intel, and then we'll hop around to you to see what you like this morning. Intel has been, continuing to push higher and higher. We saw it yesterday, had actually a great start to the day, and then a good sell-off like many tickers did later in the day anyway. But here had a great move up, and I just feel the price action for me is so difficult to take a trade on this one. But if you like the way it trades, if you've been taking advantage of the opportunity that this has been giving you, have it on your list today. I mean, we're looking to break this level here. Seems to be 50.16. I don't think, is that your all-time highs on this thing? No.
No.
Oh,
Remember,
no.
Intel's the one semiconductor that's nowhere near all-time highs.
Then they didn't really get the memo that it is AI world, and just I don't know what happened. They went backwards here. They went completely backwards with the AI situation. So trying to recover themselves here, redeem their prices. But yeah, intraday's been okay for some people, Peter.
It has. In fact, I was watching it yesterday over the course of the day. I missed a trade. It didn't end up being a perfect setup, but it was a good move. Intel actually made a good move through the afternoon from high to low, at least one that I liked. And a lot of stocks actually, Carlos, just as we were handing over the reins to Thor at around 11, we're making some good moves to highs and then did some reversals, within the next half hour. So there was some good opportunity. I did get a great short on, I actually traded, what did I trade yesterday? I think I actually I was just looking at my journal. I traded PLTR. My biggest trade of the day ended up a nice short on PLTR. So yeah, you got to keep an eye on these things. You never know where they're going to move. So Intel, I don't know what to expect today. They did get some upgrades. So, there's no denying that they're getting a little more focused than they had in the past. Seaport Research and HSBC both basically upgraded their views on it with target prices between $50 and $65. So that's a little bit encouraging. Of course, 50 is pretty much right in the price action. So I struggle to put it on a primary list because, just because it made a move yesterday doesn't mean it's going to necessarily make a good one today. I always keep most of the semis on a secondary. I think I only found it because the chat room mentioned it. So big value and shout out to the chat room because somebody had called it out there. And so I took a peek and I was like, you know what, that looks pretty good. So it's great to have, other people, other eyeballs out on the market. That's one of the big values I've always gotten from the chat room. Sometimes they've called out some of the best trades I get because it wasn't the thing I was looking at. But maybe a secondary. We don't have a lot obviously on the list right now, so we could put it on a secondary. Sure, why not?
Yeah, I like that. I like the idea. Put in a secondary here, and we'll see where it goes. And yes, man, our members in chat room, on YouTube, on X, call out some amazing trades. The problem is catching them for me. Like sometimes I'm not looking, it'll scroll up and I'll miss it, and we might miss something you mentioned. It's not on purpose. It's just so much going on. But yeah, thanks
Yep.
guys for calling stuff out. All right, Peter, let's do Baba, and then we'll go to you because I do like Baba. I see it slipping lower here, but Baba this morning we are up 2.6. Not much volume. On the daily, we've seen a higher increase of activity, I like to say, right? Normally they do this, right? Don't get a whole lot, but we see a couple of days where they've actually been trading much, much better. So today they're gapping down. I'm sorry, gapping up, but I don't see great volume on it, so I am going to leave it alone for the most part because I'm not seeing, yeah, we'll have to wait for the market open. You know what? Good secondary. Let's come back and see how it looks a little bit later. All right, Peter, we'll go to you. What else do you like this morning that might not be on this list or on this list?
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that's gapping up. We got a big mix of stocks here. NVIDIA is top of my list. It was yesterday. It continues to be today. It's sort of a tough day for NVIDIA yesterday, as it did end up selling off. I was trying to get that short off the open, Carlos. That was one of the things I was watching, but never found the opportunity. And same thing with Tesla, by the way. I was trying to get that short on Tesla, which I
Yeah.
actually did trade a couple of times. And they both ended up selling off, but it took until about noon before it finally happened. So I'm going to
Yeah.
watch them both today. I think Nvidia was a little bit earlier, around 11. The move started at noon for Tesla. So sometimes it just shows you have to be patient on these things, and
Yeah.
but unfortunately, it never sort of gave me the final signal I needed to take the short. But can't say that it didn't work. So continue to watch them. What else we got? Apple, Meta are also gapping higher. Apple's been such an interesting stock. Like it keeps not do. It doesn't really care what the rest of the market's doing. It's been doing its
Mm.
own thing. And while
Yeah.
the market sold off yesterday, just look at that slow, steady curve downward. Like unlike other things
Mm-hmm.
that were chopping and looking like maybe they wanted to go higher, Apple just said, nope, like it's a down day and I'm just going to slowly make my way down to my target price. And that's what it did. Like all day, literally open to close. I think, maybe there was one candle right at the beginning. Yeah. Like literally the first candle of the day is really the only candle that looked, that pushed higher. And then it just, sort of just sold off right to the close. So just very interesting. I mean, I, tough trade for me, like, but it would have been great if you're just a trend trader and you got in and just said, well, this is an easy day, right? You get in, you put your stop, set your target, you could go have a siesta, go make yourself a pina colada, have some, fun. Anyways,
Yeah. There it is.
so
There it is.
there it is. So I like Apple as well. Other than that, on our gap up list, we did have Oklo, OKLO. It's been fairly quiet, I would say, over the last week. But I just feel like it's one of those ones you just never know when it's going to pop up again. And who knows, right? With President Trump speaking at Davos right now, I do actually have it. That's why I put my headphones on so I can listen in the background to what he's saying, just in case the market starts to move, which I see it moving higher right now. We'll see where things go. But anyways, that's about it. That's what I got for the gap up. Oh, I can't hear you, Carlos.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. I'm saying let us know if he says anything
Okay.
that triggers the market, but right now market is pretty quiet for the most part. But you mentioned Oklo, man.
Well,
I'm looking at it. Oklo looks good today. I think I'm gonna add it to the list.
he,
Looks interesting.
I mean, he is Trump is literally talking about nuclear power right now. So
Oh,
you never
nice.
know. You never know
Mm-hmm.
if
Yep.
that's going to cause a little bit of a bump. Maybe that's why it's
Yep.
gone up in the last couple of minutes. It is a, an active part of his comments. So
Yeah. Yeah. You can
there
see
you
the
go.
little
He's talking
action we're
about the
getting. Mm-hmm.
what he's calling, to quote him, the green news scam of windmills. He's saying that windmills are all a scam and nuclear is the future. So here we go. Look at Oklo go. So you can see. I
Oh.
mean,
Oof.
as I was pointing out, the comments can have a direct impact. So this is why we've got
Yeah.
to pay attention to what's going on as much as possible. And look at Oklo go. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, windmills are expensive, man. I know you find them weird sitting out in the fields.
They
I know they
they
look weird,
are.
but
It seems like a. It does
I,
seem like a very inefficient way to generate power. Like it feels like there's better ways of doing it. To be honest, I mean,
yeah.
I'm all for
If they were
alternate
cheaper, you know,
solutions,
they're
but
expensive too, man. Like if
yeah,
I saw a documentary on the people that climb stuff high to maintain it. So it was not all about that. It was just about these workers that climb like insane heights to maintain things, and that was one of them because that's pretty damn high. Man, it's scary
oh
stuff
yeah,
being up there and looking
oh
down.
yeah,
And they were talking about the cost to maintain them, and it
oh
was
yeah,
it's a lot. It's a lot. So only our engineers here in
oh
chat will
yeah.
know all about that. All right, I'll close with some stuff, adding it to the list. Let's take a look at what's capping down. I know it doesn't look as exciting, but there is some stuff here. That's actually one that might be very exciting. We'll get to that in a second here. Let's look at SBDS is first. SBDS. They're down 20% this morning. Solo Brands. Why does that sound familiar? I feel like we talked about this before, but they're down 20%, Peter. 311,000 shares traded. Pre-market doesn't look all that attractive at all. They're daily either. So won't be on my list. I think we'll find better things to look at this morning.
Yeah, very low float. I'm only seeing a third of a million shares or 300,000 shares up out there. The headline just says no clear catalyst identified for the sharp pre-market decline. So the news doesn't know. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll leave that alone. Doesn't look great. KHC, the Kraft Heinz Company. So they're here today, down 7.6 to 921,000 shares traded. I'm always surprised that ketchup has its own ticker. You know, I mean, this is the ketchup, obviously, but I mean,
Well, they do a lot more than just ketchup. But yeah,
I know
what
they got the
about
mustard.
Kraft
Yeah,
dinner?
yeah,
You gotta have something to
yeah.
put your ketchup on. You got Kraft dinner.
That's true. That's true. I
Yeah.
heard of it. I never had the
See?
Kraft dinner. It's like a
No,
microwave
you've never
package or
had Kraft
something.
dinner?
No,
What?
I have not. I know. I know. Am I missing
Never.
out on something? No, I have not.
Well,
Never.
I mean, I'm
What
not
is
sure
it?
that it's a culinary experience, but I figure that everybody in North America has had Kraft dinner at least once.
I'm
Now,
gonna
well,
look this
now,
up.
hey, I did the disgusting Twinkie thing. I think you got to make yourself a bowl of Kraft dinner on the show here.
Oh man, how what is the Kraft dinner? Well, I gotta look this up.
It's
What is
just
that?
macaroni and cheese. Macaroni and cheese. Macaroni and
Oh
like
yeah,
powdered cheese.
I make it for the. I have made that for the kids. Yes, I make the mac and cheese for the kids. You're right. That is Kraft. Yeah, I
Okay.
have done that for the
Yeah.
kids. I personally,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. No, 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 no thanks.
Okay.
But they're
All right.
down here, Peter. What's the latest and greatest?
Yeah. They basically said that they've, with the SEC, they registered that one of their major shareholders, Berkshire Hathaway, has indicated an interest of selling, and they own. It's not. They basically have registered the ability for Berkshire to sell, and they own a lot, 325.4 million shares. That's not the value. That's the number of shares they own. Now, this float is 1.1 billion shares. So let's call it roughly a third of all of the shares available are held by Berkshire Hathaway. So if they start to sell, you would see a stock price drop, which is interesting that the price is dropping, but they haven't, as far as I know, they haven't started to sell yet. It was just a registration of the potential intent to sell. So, anyways, but it's
Okay.
it's one of those that, hey, whatever, but it's not Buffett anymore, right, Bill? I mean, he's retired. So we got to
I
I
see.
mean, it could have been his buy, I guess. Maybe it was one of the ones that he bought. But yeah, if I don't know when he would have bought this, but I'm looking at Kraft Heinz now that I mean, he likes to buy and hold. It could have been decades ago when he bought this. I don't know when he accumulated this, but oh my. Oh my, yes. You have to go back quite a ways.
Yeah.
Why
It's
can't
funny.
I
So
go
you
back
mentioned it
here?
now. I never put two and two together that Kraft. This was Kraft Heinz, the Kraft macaroni
Yeah.
and cheese. And I see what the confusion is. In Canada, they use Kraft dinner, so it's not the same thing. But yes, we have had this for the
Oh.
kids here. Yeah,
Oh.
when we travel, so it's different. That's why we say Kraft dinner. What the heck is that? But this is the
Oh,
Canadian
okay.
version
Oh,
of
I
it.
didn't
So
realize that that was a Canadian
me
name
neither.
for it.
Me neither. It's a
Okay.
Canadian branch or something. So there you go.
Okay. Oh, there you
All
go.
right.
See, sometimes I just, I'm so used to something, I just assume that's what everybody uses. Like if I said I was
Yeah.
going down to get a 2-4, everybody in Canada would know exactly what I'm buying, but
What's that?
you
Pack of
probably don't
cigarettes?
know what. No,
You don't smoke? What is that? 2-4.
that's a case of beer. It's a case of beer.
Case of
24
okay.
beers. 24 beers in a case if you get cans. So
I
it's
was I was thinking number
case of
two.
beer. A 2-4.
All right,
Anyways,
there
all
we
right.
go.
Never mind.
All right, friends, there it is. Learn something new every day here, especially
Yeah.
at our channel. Whether it's useful information, we don't know, but you're gonna learn it. All right, let's go to Netflix. Netflix is next, friends. We are down 7.2, 7.3 million shares traded so far this morning, and they're not doing well, but man, they're just continue to get crushed here. So Peter, fill us in. Down quite a bit, tons of volume in play for sure. Will be on my list. What's the latest and greatest?
All right, so Netflix had earnings after the close yesterday. By the way, Trump is on to Greenland. He's talking about it right now. He's done calling. He literally called windmills losers, and anybody that has a windmill is a loser. I love his terminologies on that. All right, so
That's a
anyways,
little
he's
rough.
he's talking about
Yeah.
he's talking about Greenland now. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Uh, but anyways, let's talk Netflix. Netflix had earnings and they beat their numbers. Now you wouldn't know it from the price, right? They beat their numbers and they actually announced they don't have to announce their subscribers. In fact, they said that they weren't going to talk subscriber numbers, but I guess they're going to continue to talk about it if they're good. And they had a record 325 million subscribers. And they said that their ad revenue. Remember, well, I can't remember if it was with you, but we were talking yesterday. You said, well, other than subscriptions, what other revenue do they got? Well, now they've got ad revenue, right? Because if you buy their cheapest subscription level, you'll get ads. And they said that their ad revenue was up pretty significantly to $1.5 billion, which is 2.5 times increase over their last reporting period. So that's pretty good. They've increased their ads. They've got a big, you've got a 325 million subscriber audience. Now, like most of us, you got to be suspicious if you're an advertiser. Like Carlos, I don't, like as soon as an ad comes on, that's an excuse for me to check my phone or do something else. Like I've got Prime, and Prime drives me nuts now because I've had Prime for years, and now they
Yeah.
started introducing ads, and like I'll be damned if I'm going to pay for a higher level subscription to get rid of them when you used to have them. But it's like watching TV now to try and watch something on Prime, and it's really quite annoying. But
Yeah.
anyways, but seems to be what they're doing. They're making all these streaming services, even though you're paying for them, they're also forcing you to watch ads in some cases, which is crazy. So Netflix is had dropped after the close. Their outlook for the next quarter, I don't know. Analysts might have had an unrealistic expectation, but it doesn't matter if their expectations were unrealistic. It's what they believe, and they can drive the price. So that's probably what drove a lot of the downturn. You can see how it dropped right on the earnings announcement, but yeah, look at Netflix. Oh my goodness, look at it go
Looks like
right
you're
now.
you're
Well,
you're
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 welcome,
talking about
Netflix.
it. You're talking bad about
Yeah,
Prime and
yeah.
Netflix
There
going
you
up,
go.
Peter. Good job.
That's the bearable traders impact right there, guys. So
Better cut you a check.
Netflix is moving up. You're
Yeah.
welcome, Netflix. I'll look for my cut at some point later. But anyways, Netflix, pretty low here. If you look where it's at, I mean, it hasn't been at this level for about a year. It was roughly a year ago when it was last at this level. Although it dipped back down here in April of last year. So we'll see. I mean, $80 is there's a lot of room both up and down on Netflix. So it's tough to know where it's going to go. Netflix, by the way, also announced this is not like brand new news, but they also did announce that they're increasing their bid for Warner Brothers. We know that they've already got the support of the Warner Brothers board, but they're just sort of firming it up. It's still in that $27 billion range. They did acknowledge during their conference call with analysts that it may be, in their words, a tough, long slog. So, no surprise because as we know, right, with the big money and some of the other billionaires leveraging their political contacts, they could make the legislatory approval difficult. So we'll see what happens with Netflix. But I like, I keep waiting for Netflix to trade well. Yesterday, if you look at it during the day, did not trade well. After hours was
Yeah.
the best move, but if you were willing to bet short, then you had a good time. Otherwise, you might as well just have stayed away. So,
Yep.
We'll see where it
Yep.
goes today. I
Early
think it
this
might be worth
morning.
watching, but it's tough to tell whether it's going to do anything or not.
Yeah. Ryan, welcome to the Lambos and Garbage Truck family, my friend. I see you joining there. So Ryan plays balach. Am I saying that right? I don't know what a balach is. Was that like an instrument or something, like a violin bass or something? Like what is? I'm not sure what it is. But welcome. We're glad to have you in chat, my friend. Peter. So I think Prime with ads might sound a little bit crazy, but I think it's that because you know people get Prime just for the shipments, right? For the 2 day thing, whatever. I don't think they're really thinking about the actual channels. So I kind of get that. I don't think nobody gets the Prime for the channel. I mean, I guess you could, but yeah, ads are kind of weird when you're paying for something. Um, but all right, what else, friends? I think we're set, right? Peter, anything else? Oh, Johnson and Johnson. Johnson and Johnson is down because Puff Daddy's not buying no more Baby O, so it's got to be hurting them here. Which, by the way, I've seen that documentary on Netflix. Dude, horrible. This is ridiculous. I'm on my third episode, and what a mess this guy did, man. It's so funny because we grew up here with his music. Like his music in New York obviously had a big influence, and he just had no idea what was going on in the background at all. No clue whatsoever. Like this was very well hidden until now, I guess, for most people. But this is here, Peter. Johnson Johnson doesn't trade very well. What's your thoughts on it?
No. I
Yeah.
think that it doesn't trade very well. It did have earnings this morning. They beat their numbers, top and bottom line, which you normally expect. Johnson & Johnson's had long experience at projecting their numbers, and they almost always beat. That being said, their stock doesn't always go in the direction of the earnings. Their guidance, was in line with expectations, so nothing surprising or big there. I don't know. I mean, I've tried to watch this in the past, Carlos. I don't think I've ever gotten a good trade opportunity. I don't think today is going to change that. So it's
Yeah.
down 2.8%, but on low volume. I can't see it being worthwhile, to watch.
Yeah, we'll leave it alone. I know someone else joining us here, guys. Welcome to the Lambos and Garbage Truck family, my friend. Good to have you. That was Onars 2009. So welcome to the Lambos and Garbage Truck family. Speaking of Lambos and Garbage Truck, we will be having a giveaway later today. Peter will decide when we do that. Peter's been deciding when we do it. So he's been throwing people off here, right? Love it. That's the point. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So Peter will let us know when we're going to be doing that. All right. Peter, that kind of covers the gap up and gap down. I see you is making its way over here. Normally doesn't trade very well. Anything else you like before we head to the chats and see what people are watching this morning?
Yeah, I'm surprised that you is on the list, but I guess they're making an acquisition, and usually a company that's doing some acquiring can drop, but not tradable. From a gap down, I think most of the stuff that I'm interested in today is gapping up. Tesla and NVDA, right? They're constant on my list. That's one we mentioned. This PAVM that we were talking about earlier, Carlos, taking off here.
Wow.
It is
Holy
moving.
smokes.
So it's in
That
play, absolutely
is,
in play. Look at
yeah.
that. Since we were talking about it, it was in the 1350 range, I
Ooh.
remember, and now I just
Uh-huh.
look back, $18. So look at that. Off to the races.
On fire. Did I put this on my? This is
Yeah,
definitely popcorn. Let me put this on my popcorn here. Wow,
absolutely. See?
that is insane. So that should
There
be
you
fun
go.
at the market open as well. Guys, careful. Float on this one.
Yeah.
Let me remind you, is under a million. It's 400,000 is what I'm showing. So again, just
Yeah.
can't tell you how careful you have to be with that.
From a gap down, we just talked about Netflix. I think it's on my list, and it's one of the bigger down gapping stocks this morning.
Yep.
So that's about it. That's what I've got.
Yeah. All right, friends. Let's see what you guys have this morning. I'm looking at our chat in our chat room. I'm looking at X, and I'm also looking at YouTube. So let's see what you guys like this morning. Yeah, we did talk about SMR. It's on my list. So both SMR and Oklo got a little pump this morning, with Trump talking about nuclear power and stuff like that. So that started around here, and you can see here the move you got on Oklo and also SMR. So he moved on to a different topic now, but clearly these are in play, and it looked like some people would expect some conversations, but you can see here early on at 6, Oklo had a nice little pop up of almost $4. right? Pull back a little bit
Yeah.
and then continue there with some volume this time. So,
So
yeah,
he's moved on. He's talking about how much the U.S. is paying for NATO. So you know that he's been a critic of NATO and how much the U.S. has contributed over the years, and he's back on that topic. He actually moved off Greenland relatively quickly. I didn't sort of get the full gist of his comments because I was distracted with the other stuff we were doing. But
mm,
anyways, he's focused right now on what was given to NATO and U.S.'s involvement. So we'll see where it goes. So far, I have not seen any comments about the stated topic of his presentation, which I said is homelessness. I don't think maybe it was in the opening two
yeah,
or 3 minutes. It's usually I've noticed recently when Trump speaks, he'll follow the teleprompters for about like literally the first 2 or 3 minutes until he hits a point that makes him think of something else, and then off we go. Right. So,
yeah, yeah.
but he actually tries. Like there was a point before where he wouldn't even care. Right. Like I don't even know if there were teleprompters in the room. It didn't matter. He would just go. So now somebody must have
He's
said, look, just
falling a little more. Yeah, yeah.
a little bit. So,
And you know what, too, man, with age, anyone, not just him, anyone with age, you can forget your points a little bit, right? Happens to us, so you can
but
imagine, what, he's 83, 84,
yeah, you know what
so,
I can only I do hope that at his when I am his age I have the fiery energy that he has because I hope it's maybe
yeah,
no
it's
not
hopefully the
not so
memories, man, because that's what usually I have a
yeah
couple of people in my family that
I
their
like
memory starting to, dwindle a little bit, and that's tough.
yeah
So hopefully we
see
can keep our memory. Yeah.
I like to pretend to be grumpy. You guys know I have my rants and stuff, but I'm a pretty happy guy. Like, life,
See,
like
here
I try
goes
not to take life.
Peter, not following the prompt right now. He's gonna go on a rant.
Yeah, there you go.
No, go for it,
I
go for
try
it.
not to, but I do hope that when I get older, like I don't actually become grumpy. I'm trying to like do the, like have the rants and stuff now in a way that hopefully is just like it keeps me playful. Because if I actually become grumpy, I'll be very disappointed in myself. Because again, I like being a happy guy, and life. It's the weave. Yeah, it's my big weave. I'm weaving a decade long, conversational plan. But I like to yell, "Get off my lawn!" But I'm not really that serious about it. So you know, but sometimes I find that I do like start to sway a little bit. Like it's winter right now. You've probably heard me rant a couple times. People when they have like snow on their car without any reason, just take the snow off your car. I find myself like tipping over the edge, and I'm like, all right, so I gotta rein this back because sometimes like I just want to put the car in park at the light and get out with my brush and go brush off their car. And that's very passive aggressive. Like it's a very Canadian
Yes.
passive aggressive thing to do. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
can see
don't I
that. I
don't
can see
know,
that going wrong.
Raph. I have no idea what I'm gonna look like at 70, and I hope I just get happier rather than grumpier. But there is that
Yeah.
risk, right? It happens to so many. So
Yeah. I always try to think of people like there must be going through something a lot worse I don't know about. And I know that's not the case. There are some stupid people out there, of course. We know that. But I just always like to put them in a scope that, you know what, I don't know what they're going through. Who knows what, and just kind of think the best of people. I
yeah,
think it's the best way, because if not, our patience, Peter, would drive us insane. People do some just very weird things, and
yeah.
yeah, it's just yeah, I'm with
People
you.
do confusing things.
Very confusing things. All right, you know what's not
I
confusing, guys? Tradingterminal.com. But Peter, you're gonna say
There you
something
go.
before I go in there.
No, good segue. I like it. Make it happen.
Yeah. Let's make it happen. TrainTerminal.com, friends. You can always head there, get tools, scanners, and all that good stuff. And then from there, you can also head over to Bear with Traders, where you can find all the webinars that are scheduled for us on this beautiful and cold Wednesday. So Peter's going to let you know what's happening today.
Indeed. All right. It's Wednesday. I can't believe it's Wednesday. It doesn't feel like it's midweek, but here we are, hump day. Welcome to the middle of the week. And that means that we focus on psychology today. And we've got a number of sessions to help you with your psychology, including Dr. Vanessa Charlin, who's just one of our favorite mental coaches out there, and she talks well, she'll be in the webinar room at noon today, and she'll be having a webinar tonight. She's doing emotional reactivity, the hidden cost in trading performance. I like it. I've been reading some psychology books recently. I mentioned to you guys, "Stillness is the Key" is a book that I'm reading right now. Just a few chapters every night when I get some idle time before I go to sleep. It's quite interesting. So if you've read it, some people said that they loved it. Now, Carlos, do we have a special guest here on YouTube today?
We do.
Is that
We have
yes?
Greta today.
So there you go. So in our theme of psychology, we have Kreda, who's another one of my favorite psychological coaches. Kreda, I did some private sessions with Kreda. Absolutely worth it. Worth 10 times what I paid for it. So, well, in my case, it was part of our organization here, so I didn't pay anything. So it's worth infinitely more than I paid for it, I guess, if you look at it that way. But anyways, but I leverage what she uses all the time. So when Kreda joins, it's well worth listening to her. She is a great person, and she really does understand how to help individuals with their own psychology. So we're very proud and happy to have her with us here today. She'll be on Carlos at 10:30. What time is she here? I think 10:30.
10:30 sharp. Yes, she'll be here.
10:30. Okay. So that's about an hour and 13 minutes. So there you go. She'll be here. So we'll get through the open trading and then we'll have Kreda live here on YouTube. So stay tuned. That's something to look forward to and that's coming up. If you want to get all of the webinars and get access to them, then you need to join Bearable Traders as a member. To do that, you go to bearabletrading.com. And you can call up just scroll down to the bottom of that first page and you can take the membership level that makes sense for you, whether you just want to do the intro, you want to join on a monthly basis, or the annual. They're all there and available, so take advantage. All right, let's set some levels, Carlos, and moderators, get your lists in, and I'll let everybody know what they're watching.
All right, absolutely, friends. All right, let's get to it. Let's set up here. I have my list ended up being Apple, Oklo, and Netflix. And you know what? I have space. I'm gonna add two of my favorites, Tesla and NVIDIA, to that list. But Apple, Oklo, and Netflix, and SMR too. I'm gonna put SMR here because both of those are in play today. So we'll look at those and see how they play out this morning. Right now, looking at Oklo, since I have it up, let's start there since I already have it up here. Right now on the daily, you can see just back and forth. We're finding resistance right around that 97 target price where we've seen many days, either close, open, or just use that as resistance to get above that. So we're right on that this morning. You can see that in the pre-market. If we were to break out of that, the next big level I see is going to be 130. You can see here a couple of days slamming into that as well, using that as support there also. Could be very interesting. So that's what I see there. And then again, continue back and forth. You can see the ping pong action on the daily. I am going to mark a level in here. It's going to be right around 93.47. That has been an area where you've seen support in the past plenty of times. See that 1, 2, 3. So you want to have that there. And then if you look in the pre-market, you can see around that area. Remember, these levels are an area. You can see here 93.47, an area where we're having a little bit of resistance. Finally broke out of that with Trump talking about nuclear power. So let's go over to the next one. Actually, you know what? Levels towards the bottom, just in case, although right now this thing looks very strong, is going to be 86.10, just in case we do head lower on this one. Let's start from the front here. Apple this morning. Yesterday was awesome. Just slowly but surely grinding lower and lower and lower right from the beginning, as Peter mentioned earlier. Today, pulling back a little bit, so it is in the green slightly. And let's get some levels for it. So high of the pre-market at the moment, just being set here as we're getting a little bit of rejection on it, 247.99. So I'm just gonna put 248 there, and the low of the pre-market 244.86. So right over here, and then below that you have the range from yesterday all the way up here and down here as well that are covering. But look at Apple. Look at Apple the last couple of months, right? So on a nice uptrend, somehow find a lot of resistance and just right back down to 244. So not doing so well on the daily here, especially with yesterday's sell-off. So let's see where that goes today. Below that, in case we do head low, it's going to be 240, and then above that, in case we do head higher, I'm going to put 250.08 is an area that I see there. So I like Apple this morning. SMR, as I mentioned with Oklo, same thing with SMR. They're both in play this morning, seeing a little bit of a pop. Is it going to continue, right? Are we going to get anything else other than what we have seen so far this morning in the pre-market. So here's the pop that we got, a little bit of pullback and just kind of hanging out here on SMR. So in the middle here between the highs and lows of the last two trading days, we are going to mark down 1969. So we'll put a level there, and that again you can see that very similar to Oklo, this back and forth right in between two levels. Previous day closer to the bottom is that support area. The low of the pre-market is a little bit higher. It's going to be over at a 1919. And then below that, we do have 1817, and then well below that, just in case, 1716 towards the bottom. Towards the top, if we can break out, what do we got? This level here. What do we got, Peter?
Nothing.
Now, I want to laugh too, man.
Oh man, Trump in Trump's speech
Yeah.
right now, he was talking about a secret spy plane that's being developed by the U.S. and I'm not sure if he's supposed to talk about it, but he is. And he said how they flew it over Iran and got the job done, and it was never even detected. And I'm thinking, did he just announce that the U.S. invaded sovereign airspace? I mean, we sort of know this thing happens on the in spy stuff all the time, but I don't think you're supposed to publicly announce that. Anyway,
supposed to
not
say.
that he's ever worried about.
Yeah,
He's never worried about that. Maybe it was allowed and it's not news. You just never know.
Yeah, maybe it was declassified or something, but yeah. And that's what happens with older people like my dad. So we had a surprise person coming down to Florida, and we were sitting down. He was coming the next day. We're sitting down for dinner, and as he's praying for the food, guess what? He slips up, and it safe travels to such and such. And then my brother, who's the birthday surprise for, he's like, he slipped. He said the name, he slipped. We all caught it. We just looked at him like. What can you do?
Don't tell Dad the secret, eh?
Don't tell Dad the secret. Absolutely. Yeah. All right, friends. Let's see. Here we go. We have what else is next? SMR is good. Netflix down today. Let's do that one. Netflix right now. Wow, look at that. Nice little bounce off 80.38 on Netflix. That looks good. And then towards the top here, we are looking at high of the pre-market 82.82. 82.82 high of the pre-market there. So once you do that, it's a little bit higher actually, right over here, 82.82. Once you do that towards the top, you can see the levels of support we have up here that we broke yesterday or this morning or after hours, as you would say. We got to go to the left. Wow, Netflix is really having a tough time. Forget about this WB deal. It's just overall just not doing well. Why? They got some good shows. So I don't understand what's happening. You know what it is? It's this probably competition, right? Competition.
More competition.
Yeah,
margins are getting squeezed. I mean, they've never had to worry about margins in the past. So the fact that they're even talking about it, I guess, is a change. I mean, it's one of these. You fly real high, you got further to fall. So
see, the password thing didn't work for them, and I signed up for Netflix because I was password sharing with my sister-in-law. Didn't work. We got our own account now. It's still not working. So. I don't know. It's they gotta figure something out. All right. 85.31 is good towards the bottom there, and then below. Did I just admit I was password sharing? That's not good. I'm gonna probably get a letter in the mail. 77.38 towards the bottom on Netflix, and we are set there. So, all right, that's looking pretty good. And then two of our favorite tickers here, friends, to do this quickly, is Tesla. Again, surrounded by the highs and lows of the last two trading days. High of the pre-market, 238.88. Towards the bottom, you see the low from yesterday there. Towards the top, you're pretty much covered. Do not have to add anything else. Let's just go to the bottom here. We'll do 410.41, and then we'll do 402 on Tesla, one of our good buddies. And last but not least, NVIDIA surrounded as well by yesterday's highs and low. High of the pre-market 180, became a great trader later in the day. Morning was a little bit tough to trade. 175.85, and then down here we do have another minor area around 174.04. Other than that, we are pretty much set when it comes to NVIDIA. All right, Peter, running out of time, 5 minutes to the market open. Let's see. I see Andrew's got stuff ready to go. Give us a quick snapshot of what people are looking at, and then we'll give it to Andrew Bryan as to take you through the market open.
You got to be careful what you say there, Carlos, because you know if you admit anything, this is where the AI bots will pick it up and then report you into somebody. Just yesterday, I was on my phone and I was sitting watching TV, and I was asking my wife, "Why am I getting all these ads for compression socks? Like, do they think I'm an overweight person that needs compression socks?" And she's like, "Oh, I was looking them up because I was thinking of getting some." And I'm like, "Well." So, they've obviously tracked our IP and they're sending ads to our location. I didn't search them. My wife did it on her own device, but it goes to the home IP, and now I'm getting these ads because she was looking up exercise socks. So I better be careful what I Google, or she'll be getting the ads. Delete browser history. Uh-oh. Anyways. All right. What is our staff watching? They are taking a look at everything from AMD to NVIDIA, Tesla, CRM. Rocket Lab is on the list. I've got PLTR and Oklo on the list. We talked about this low float PAVM that is moving like crazy. So interesting, just fun to watch. And of course, ONDS I see on the list as well. So that's sort of a summary of what we've got. Don't forget, guys, President Trump is speaking right now in Davos, Switzerland at the World Economic Forum. Just because we saw when he was making comments about nuclear power, we saw that Oklo made an immediate rise. So there is some effect. You just don't know what's going to come up next. So just be aware the market could move on that on his speech and what he talks about, or not. It depends on if he talks about something specific to a stock that you may be watching. So just be aware of it. I'm not sure when his speech is scheduled to end. It must be sometime soon because I think he started around 8:30, so he's almost an hour in. So we'll see where things go. Opening coming up in 3 minutes. So trade smart, everybody, and have a great morning.
All right, guys, take care. Friends, we're gonna.
I see Andrew's camera on. Is Andrew?
Yeah.
Is he there?
No,
I haven't seen him physically. He must be there somewhere.
No, I haven't seen him,
around.
but he's
No.
he's ready. He's
Where's
ready.
Brian?
Systems
Brian?
are ready and all set.
Yeah. Lights are on, but nobody's home. Quite literally.
There it is.
Oh,
Brian's
Brian.
coming on.
Camera coming. I see him.
Very nice.
All right, there he is.
All right, friends. All right, we're gonna continue here and on YouTube and X. I'm going to mute this and let's see what we got.
Okay. So, what are we going to get a trade in, Carlos? That's what I really don't know.
Yes. That's what hopefully a better day. Yes, I had one trade only. There was an NVIDIA loss yesterday. That's all I had.
Now, they were saying yesterday with the market decline, the market was down about 2% yesterday. And the news was reporting that resulted in a $1 trillion loss in value in the U.S. markets. So
it's wild.
So yeah, big down day yesterday. I mean, 2% is not huge as a percentage of the market, but $1 trillion is a big number. So
yeah.
All
right, typing in my tickers here. Right. Oklo and others.
Yeah, we got a minute to the open. I'm just firing up my trading screens. Let's go, baby. Somebody sent me some videos yesterday, Carlos, about some Chinese EVs because we were talking about them and how because the Canadian government has allowed them into Canada or up to 50,000 units to be sold in Canada, and some of the EVs are. It was interesting to look at the review videos of them. They were quite pretty impressive actually as a vehicle. So, all right, what's the PAV-M? Sorry. Here we go. There's the opening bell, guys. Whatever you got, just be careful. Yeah.
All right, here we are. Oklo doing some stuff, friends. Our popcorn ticker this morning, PAVM.
We got Tesla dropping here at the open. Oh, you know what I need to bring up here, get going, is the Atlas, of course.
Yep.
Get the Atlas going.
Careful with this madness, friends. PAVM.
Tesla looks downside loaded, so what about NVIDIA? What does NVIDIA look like?
NVIDIA drop and it's coming back up here. Yeah. NVIDIA, friends. BYD is awesome. Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of it, but I hear the name a lot. That people love the BYD vehicles. I gotta check those out. It's like the big competition, right, for our buddies in at Tesla. So let's see, guys. All right, what do we got? What do we got? Um,
All right. I tried to go long on NVIDIA. I thought I would try these early trades that I'm really not very good at, and I just got stopped out.
mm,
So didn't take much of a risk. I just thought I'd give it a shot.
yeah,
AMD. Look at AMD charging up again this morning. Maybe I picked the
yeah.
wrong semiconductor.
Nvidia. The 1 minute engulfing ORBs for me have been difficult lately, and I might wait for like a 5 minute ORB. They have not been
I'm long
easy.
NVIDIA again at VWAP. I'm
Nice,
hoping for a
that's
pop
nice.
up over these level here, but stop is very
Yeah.
aggressively at break even. You guys know I don't take a lot of risk on this.
How's the Atlas on this thing?
Come on, let's go. There we
That's
go.
pretty
There we
pretty good.
go.
There it is. Peter getting the
There we
move.
go.
Let's go.
All
Let's
right,
get that
taking a
180.
partial. Oh, yeah, I didn't get filled. I got filled actually at only 176 79.60, so that wasn't
Okay.
good. So next stop 180. Come on.
Mm.
Oh, and
I like this long. This long that you're in is very nice. If I can get an opportunity for a 5 minute ORB, I'll have to wait a little bit. This could be a good long.
I'd love
Some.
if the VWAP could move higher than my entry. And
Mm-hmm.
come on, 180. Let's go to 180.
Wow,
There we
look at
go.
the rejection on
There,
Oklo, man. That is
there we go. All right, I'm
that
taking
is
a partial
tough.
here. There
Oh,
we go.
nice,
Got the
nice.
180 partial. So let me, I better call this up on the screen so you guys can see it. What am I trading?
Yep.
NVIDIA. There it is.
Nvidia, Netflix going. I'm sorry, Tesla going. All right, we got you there,
Pulled back
Peter.
from, pulled back from 180. So there's my trade. Stop at break even. As you can see, the VWAP is moving higher. It'd be great
Yeah,
again if it
yeah.
could move up above my entry. We're pretty much right at my entry now. 179.28 is where I got in, and that's where I'll stop out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Come on, NVIDIA. That was not an invitation to go stop me out. I was not. I
Hopefully
was not.
holds. It holds.
Oh, look at that.
Ah, you
No,
piece of
no, stop
garbage.
me out.
Just
Yeah.
couldn't get the
So, all
continuation.
right. Well, look at that. If it bounces off of that, that'll be very disappointing. But
If it bounces off of
I
this, I'm
stuck to my
looking for
rules.
that 5 minute RB if it does bounce off of this. Let's see if it holds. But yeah, good trade though. And that's been the tough part, Peter. Getting that continuation is not just you, man. This has been real tough. I like that nice move. And hopefully we're not getting into the same thing like yesterday where we're just getting the back and forth chop. Hopefully that's not the case, man, because that style of trading sucks.
Yeah, that was pretty painful yesterday. What we were seeing on both this and Tesla right at the open.
5 minute seems more of a pretty evened out candle here. It does look more bullish though. We can stay
The
above.
orders, yeah, the Nvidia orders. Well, they were topside loaded. Now it's pretty balanced.
Is it changing now?
Yeah, it's tough to tell where this
This
thing wants
looks
to go.
SMR and Oklo especially. Look at the rejection here on Oklo. Very interesting 5 minute candle. 100 right back down. Careful if you're trading this, guys. Be very mindful of your share size. You do not need to take a boatload on this thing. Because it can really move. Nvidia and Tesla both just not great. Netflix What do we got? Netflix. I'm gonna go long Netflix here. I'm long Netflix for a 5-minute ORB. Stop 182.40. So actually 182.40. Let's just give it $1. 182.40 will be best. Let's see if we can get there.
Mm.
Let's see. Get a nice 5-minute ORB. 183. Would love 84, but that seems to be a struggle right now on Netflix. I don't like that we didn't make a new high, or at least get close as 83.60.
These orders.
They're not like that there. Let's see if we can get something going here. Low Netflix. See if we can get the push. While that's working, Tesla's just nasty. NVDA is not doing anything. No. All right, we're trying on Netflix. So Netflix is trying. Let's see what else we have here. Intel's doing something. Baba. PAVM halted. A popcorn stock for the day here. Just wow. This thing opened up today, guys. At well, not open, but was hanging out at $6. And look at that. Insane. All right, here we go, friends. Netflix is going for the move. 84, so we're going to take our partial. Come on. Keep the momentum. Keep the momentum. Hold the line. That's good enough right there. It's good enough. Partial. There it is.
What are you trading?
Netflix. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You got the move on
All
Netflix.
right.
I'm trying NVIDIA here again, but I'm just trapped at this VWAP. It's just not, and unfortunately it could go
long
either
or
way.
short?
This thing could, I'm gone long, but I think I'm going to lose. And yeah.
Below the VWAP
long,
dropping. Huh?
Well, just at the VWAP.
Okay,
I thought
okay.
when I got in, it looked like it was going long, and then it just is holding. It's holding this 179 level. The problem is if it breaks, it's going to break hard, and I'm going to suffer a decent loss here. So we'll see what happens. I don't know.
All right.
We'll see what happens.
Let's see. Long Netflix. We got the volume. It's looking good. Time sales looking good. It's just not getting the push above 84. I like how the bigger time frame is. At least you get a 60 minute. We got some levels up here. 85, 31. I mean, we'll take a partial before we get there. But maybe we start closing this gap or we drop down here. I don't think Netflix is doing this bad. But again, I'm not sitting in their finance office, so I don't know what the heck is going on.
All right, I'm out of NVIDIA. I don't like that break.
Yeah.
Now it looks short actually.
Netflix, go. All right, now we're dropping. We'll give it a little more sense. 83, we'll bail on it. See if this drop is gonna hold. 83 will be out though. We'll give it a little bit. See if the 9 moving average can do your job. Do your job, 9 moving average. Do your job. Hold the price. See if it gets the buyers in here. Okay, that's a good. It's a good candle. We can close green. It's a great candle if we can close green.
That was darn it.
All right. Let's see here. Candle's closing now. New candle. And the momentum is to the downside, so that's not good. Oh, maybe changing around. All right, we ready to bail at 83. Actually, we don't even gotta wait to 83. I'm gonna wait to like 83.11. We break this lower, we'll get out of it. No need to hang around. We need to keep hopefully making higher highs here. Higher lows, excuse me, higher lows. Hopefully that's the case. Keep this moving average northeast. So the reason I kind of gave it a little more room to see if this works out. No, Siri, cancel. Cancel.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Okay. That's good. All right, working so far. The moving average is working. Let's see if we can break the high. If we can't break the high, I will take another parser because most likely you're going to start getting into not making a new high toppy situation, and it might just go lower than this here. So it's got to break here, hopefully. Level 2 looks awesome. Oh, yeah. That looks great. No parser here. Nice fill. We got tons of orders at 83. What is this? 83.90? No, 84. 84. 84.
Intel.
84.
What's Intel doing? Not
there
much.
It is. Going through it. One
Wow.
nice push.
Wow. I'm getting the direction wrong here in NVIDIA. I tried a short and I got stuck again.
It's choppy.
It is.
Frank Castle. Series part of the chat today. It is. It's just I don't know what I said. It sounded like it. It is activated. Activated. Got some big orders coming in, then disappear. Like 83, 30 now. We got tons of orders there. It's funny how we're getting them on like the way down. So weird. This price action is very strange. So 2 parsers in on Netflix already. Let's see if we can get something going. Above that, having a hard time getting above 84. And that is that's where it kind of struggled here yesterday too. I mean, it's a whole dollar number, so you got the psychological thing happening as well. But you can see it here. That's where it came down to and kind of paused. So we were struggling against that there. And against this kind of a whole dollar area that we're trying to break out of. But the trend looks good though. This trend looks really nice. So I want to see this hopefully continue higher. We can come and test the 9, but hopefully we don't break it too much. And then I would love to see the 20 get above my entry, so we could even get even more buffer and levels and support in our direction. So let's see. Let's see if it works out. Here's another opportunity to break 84.
So I've got the Andrew indicator on my side. Andrew just went long NVIDIA. I've been long since the VWAP. I've been stuck a couple of times.
Okay.
I've had losses long and short on NVIDIA. I'm
All right.
now doing okay, but I want to get it over 180.
Yeah.
We'll
See that?
Just don't pull back through my break even because I added to this pretty aggressively. So come on, NVIDIA.
The Andrew
180
indicator.
NVIDIA.
That's
The
always
Andrew
good.
Indicator. Yep.
It's always
Good to
good.
have that on your side.
We should put an Andrew
Trump
indicator
is-
on trading terminal. Like every time Andrew takes a trade, the Andrew indicator alerts. That should be
Looks
worth
like
a couple
Trump
of
is, still speaking, by the way.
bucks. Andrew ETF. Chris, yeah. Let's get an Andrew ETF going.
Yeah, you got an ETF on everything else out there. Why not?
Well, exactly.
Come on. There's a bunch of orders sitting at 180 on NVIDIA. I want to see it go get them. If it gets through that, I'm definitely taking a partial right away.
Mm.
Because last time it hit that and bounced back, so now it's struggling even to get back there. So we'll see.
Andrew said, Andrew, the ticker for Andrew, DGen. That's great. That's gonna be the ticker. I love that. DGen, DEGEN, like the ticker.
Okay.
Oh man, that's good.
All right.
Love it. All right,
Okay.
come on.
Come on, NVIDIA. Let's go. Look at me.
All
Look at
right.
my Christmas tree here on NVIDIA. That's
Oh,
I'm trying to get more active at the open, but it's not
I get
always
it.
working for me.
Yep, I
But
get it.
I still struggle with it. It's so funny because I always seem to pick the days when things are not trending to get aggressive,
Mm,
right? Like it seems, this is the type of situation that makes you think that the market's out to get you. So let's see if this
I
time
know.
are we
Yeah,
going to make another run at it? Come on, Nvidia, 180.
I hope so, man. Let's see. I got my Netflix going too, trying to break 84. We got a nice, beautiful uptrend though. If this continues, I'm okay waiting as long as we need to. But everything is looking positive on
Oh
it. So,
no, come on. Oh, I got stopped out on Nvidia
uh,
again.
crappy.
I might have added too aggressively. My ads brought my average up to 179.50, which is a reasonable place for this to pull back to. So,
Memory stock is the name of the game these days. Oh yeah, memory, energy.
there you go.
That's
So,
for sure.
all right, I am out of that. We can.
And I'm just looking for another break here, guys. We got like 80 cents so far out of this thing. So not bad. Um, we'll love to break this 84.30. You can see the struggle here, just continues. Having a hard time getting above that. Apple at VWAP. Yeah, call these out, guys. Absolutely. Power of the community here. Yes, Apple at VWAP. Nice little breakout there. Right at VWAP, literally. Might be tough on this one for the VWAP breakout because the pullback is happening so low here, below the VWAP. But let's see. Let's see if we can get the confirmation. This is more resistance. I like it better when it's right above here, and then the pullback is to the VWAP, right? And then you get the move, right? So it's just a little bit you can still take it though. I've taken trades like this and they have worked out, so you can still take it, but it's not prefer. Probably is the best word. I'm watching my Netflix. 84 is becoming such a pain in our behind here, friends. On Netflix. But the orders keep coming in. Like every time we dip below 84,
come on,
tons
come
of
on,
orders
NVIDIA. This
pile
time
up.
through 180 NVIDIA.
You back in?
I'm back in.
Let's go, baby. It's a nice push
Oh, I just
above.
came within a penny of the
Yeah?
180.
Come on. It's got to
Break it.
give you the break. That's a beautiful chart, man. Boom, boom, boom. So you get the break there.
99. It's flashing on it. It just can't get through those orders. Come on.
So yeah.
The orders have gone at 180, so I don't know if it took them. I didn't see that happen, but am I getting stubborn for a couple of pennies?
Let's see what we
All right,
got
I'm
going
taking the
on
partial.
here.
There, that'll force it higher. Every time I take a partial, it forces it up to 180. There we go. See?
There it is.
See?
There it is, Peter.
See? It worked.
Just
It
keep
worked. Look
partialing,
at that.
keep partialing 2 shares at a time, and then when you get to like 190,
that.
partial the whole thing.
Look at
You
that.
know?
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh,
The
that
momentum
pulled
going.
back before I got my next partial. All right. So as you can see, I got in again and I added as the thing started to pop. My average is not great at 179.70, but I was trying to make an Andrew style trade. I was taking it for the pop.
Mm-hmm.
I waited. I was going to try and get some at VWAP, but I hesitated. I'm still struggling
Yep.
with not hesitating on these things. Anyways, am I green yet? I'm not green. I'm still in the red.
Mm.
So it's all right. It's playtime, right? I'm trying to play around with this. We'll see what works now. I got to get a good move. I mean, NVIDIA's got lots of room to the top side,
Yeah. Yep.
so I can afford to be patient.
And Netflix won't just break this 84. It's just like constantly hitting his head against it, and just not pushing through. The orders are there. Just got to go get them. They're all there, 84. Really struggling. Moving averages are
There we go.
curving.
Come on. Here we go. 180.50. There we go. Partial at 180.50. Okay. So, and by the way, guys, just flipping back. Is the speech still happening?
I don't know.
Oh, Trump just finished his speech.
All right. All right, friends. Let's see what we got going on here.
All right.
Uh,
With that last partial, we got ourselves back into the green, so that makes me happy.
Very nice. Very
That's
nice.
good.
Netflix trying. Trying.
I just realized I forgot to shave.
Let's see. Let's
Okay.
see.
Here we go, NVIDIA. Let's go.
Netflix. You can do it. Have the day breakout on MU again. MU is, yeah, awesome. This is exactly what my Netflix looks like. Just trying to break that. High of the day, just struggling. We're back above 84. Let's see if we could break the high. 84.28 is what the high of the day is. Let's see if we can break that. Intel, NVIDIA. What's NVIDIA? How about Tesla? Tesla's not doing much. Pretty messy today. Tesla back and forth, back and forth. SMR at VWAP.
Yeah, I'm thinking of going crazy here and adding, and I just did. I just added to my
All
trade
right.
on NVIDIA. See if we can get a move through 181. My stop is still below 180, so that's good. I will basically take a partial again over 181.
Nice, Peter. Good,
If
man.
we
Look
get
at you.
there.
Adding,
I know. I'm
waiting.
trying.
I mean, that's
Trying.
what I'm
Let's
talking
see.
about.
We'll see if it works. I mean, could get me stopped out, but gotta try these approaches. Just let's see. The SPY and the Qs are moving to highs here. You can see them beside my chart, so that's good.
It's good. It's good. It's good for our directions, even mine here on Netflix too. Here it is,
Netflix,
84.
It's over.
It's 80 over 84 now.
Let's see if it can hold. What's
We
the
can
high
break.
of the day? 84.28.
28.
Eh?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you need, yeah. So
Looking for that
let's
break.
see. I want 181. You want 84.30 ish. So
Yes.
let's see if we can both get what we want today.
All right, here it is.
Don't forget, everybody,
on
in
it.
just over half an hour, we've got Kreda who's going to be joining us for our psychology webinar. So that's something to look forward to. he's going to come talk to us. Gosh, this 180.80 level on NVIDIA is proving to be very sticky.
Hmm. People are calling out AMD. Yeah, AMD also very nice here on the break. That's great. That's very good there. All right, Netflix, you can do it.
Here, so
What else, friends? What do you guys trade over on
I like to
X and YouTube? You like to what?
When I walk away, I like to use range orders. So I'm going to set a couple of range orders here.
Yeah.
179 at my break even.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'll just put it a penny above, and I want 180. You know what? I'm going to put it at 179.99. So we'll sell some there. We'll set that stop. Oh no! What just happened?
Don't tell me you got out in error, Peter.
I did. I took some off.
Okay, you've done this before.
What did I do?
That's what I knew.
Low
That's
range,
what I guessed.
Low range, 179.97. Oh, that's why. Darn it. That's what I made the mistake of. I want 180.99. That's my bad.
Are you still in it though, or?
Yeah, I'm still in some because I was just setting a partial stop. So, all right. So there you go. So that's better. And then I need a stop for the balance. I'm going to put this at 184 because I just don't plan to get out of it for a while.
Here we go. Here we go. All right, Netflix. We are chilling now, my friend. Partial at 84.60 here.
You guys can see I accidentally took a partial where I didn't mean to, and now I've got my range orders. You can see those indicated on the chart, that vertical red line. Yeah, it might be hard to see, but they're set. 180.99 is the stop, so I'll get an automatic partial if it hits that, and then and all of my stops are tagged to just a penny above my break-even entry, which is 179.97. So sometimes that happens. So what I did by accident when I put my high range, I put 179.99 instead of 180.99, which is what I meant. So of course, as soon as I hit the button, it said, "Well, you're already above your target price. Take the partial." Right?
Yeah, fulfill you at the best price, right?
Right. So the stop worked as it was supposed to. It was me that put in the wrong price. That's why you got to be careful in these range orders. I was doing it to show you guys how they worked, and then I showed you by accident how to screw them up.
What to be careful with. Yeah, it happens. It showed you what to be careful with. Yep. So there it is. There it is. Peter's first day. Right. Listen, if your first day you trade like that, oh man, I can only see what you can do 8 years after.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh man,
we all make mistakes. That was me. It happens.
All right, let's see here, guys. 85. I know NC Trader, you're in this trade with me too. So you're looking for 85.
Wow, Netflix is going.
Yeah, it's going, baby.
NVIDIA won't. It can't seem to get there. It's stuck here. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see if you can hold on to this 9 and start pushing higher.
10 a.m.
So here's NVIDIA.
We were supposed to have some economic data. Let me just check the calendar here. Let's see. We're supposed to have pending home sales and construction spending. Pending home sales came out pretty much just slightly under target. And I don't see the construction spending number, but remember that's the old data. That's October data. So there, construction spending came out for October. It's at 0.5% versus 0.1. So that's better than expected. But again, it's October. So does anybody care? Probably not.
Right.
Old news.
Yeah.
So there you go. And Trump's speech is over in Davos, if I didn't mention it. So there you go. So he's done. There is a Q&A going on. He is so that has an opportunity, of course, to continue to move the market. So be aware. Still ongoing, but we'll see what happens.
All right.
Andrews and AMD. Man, AMD was the better mover here.
Yeah, AMD was much better. This is where it's at. Look at that. Uh,
I'm busy. I'm busy pounding my head against the wall here on NVIDIA. Meanwhile, AMD is going
yeah.
like gangbusters.
Yep. And a lot of you guys called it out in chat too.
Oh, even
AMD's
Tesla.
on
Look at
fire.
Tesla.
Did it break out? Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
See that?
not hugely, but it is at high of day.
It's looking nicer now, though.
So
Look at that breakout of 423, which was our pre-market high, maybe. I'm not sure, but look at that breakout. That looks nice.
all right, so I'm gonna go.
NVIDIA.
I need to refill my water, so that's
Yep.
why I
Go
set
for
those
it,
stops. And I'm hoping by stepping away, it's going to cause some magic to happen. So we'll see if I automatically get my partial while I'm gone. Let's
man.
find out.
Good. We'll be watching it for you. Let's see. Actually, look, I think the stock is hearing him. It's starting to actually go. That's funny. That is funny. Look at it. Come on, NVIDIA. Get to like 182 before Peter gets back. It's a nice little surprise. The stock does that. Peter will be taking a break every 5 minutes from now on. so careful we ask for here. All right, Netflix coming back on me. Back to 84. Let's see if the 20 now can hold this. Again, it loves this 84 area. We got a partial up here. So we're good on the trade already. And I might get out, guys. I might get out. Because this seems a nice big drop. And if you look at the 5 minute, almost an engulfing. There's a good change in direction indicator here. Not indicator, but pattern. So you got to be careful with that. Let's see if if the 20 can hold. If it cannot, I'm gonna bail on it. I'm not gonna wait for my break even at this point. We're still up like 80 cents even here. So why give it back? So let's see if the 20 moving averages. This is my
my
9.
Hey.
Did it happen? Let me see. Magic.
Oh,
It tried.
magic.
It tried.
Hmm.
It tried.
Yeah. Trying is not good enough. There is no try.
Yeah.
There's only do or do not, Carlos. In the
That's
wise
it.
words of one of my other life coaches, Yoda. There is no try.
Yeah, tell that to the participation trophy makers. They're winning. They're making extra trophies, right? It's like, how many trophies you need? 56 for every kid. What?
That's why they don't have the Force, Carlos.
Oh, goodness.
The Force doesn't accept participation.
Yeah. Let's see here. All right, the 20's holding. Hopefully 84 now becomes support, right? We'd love to see that. Was a lot of resistance here. Hopefully that becomes support now. And we can hold
totally
above
random
that.
news.
Yeah.
Have you noticed how I've seen Mark Hamill in a fair number of interviews recently? Have you noticed how I think he's just resigned his life, that he really only has one role in his entire life, and he's just accepted that that's who he is.
Yeah. That's all he gets called for.
That's it.
That's it.
I think he's just like, I am Luke Skywalker forever, and he's never going to be anybody else.
Yeah.
So, all right. Yeah.
I don't like this price. I don't like the price action right now on Netflix. I don't like this rejection candle. I don't like it. Let's hopefully we can get up here again.
Huh. I was looking at his resume. I didn't realize that Mark Hamill is the voice of Merv Pumpkinhead in the Sandman. Sandman was an entertaining series. I actually liked that more than I thought I would. Anyways, all right. Never mind. Let's get back to trading. You can tell I'm just waiting on my NVIDIA trade to move, right? I'm trying to actually purposely distract myself so I don't take a
Don't do anything.
partial
Don't touch
early.
anything. Yeah.
No, don't touch anything. Keep your hand off the trigger. Just let it work or not.
Let it work.
That's all I want.
I saw a training video on these instructors. They go up with the new pilot, and one of the things he had the guy do was as they're spinning out, right? They're basically on a spin downwards, and as the plane's falling and spinning, He's like, try to pull the joystick to one side. He's trying to hold the joystick one way, try to correct. It's not working. And he's like,
Right.
so let me show you this. Put your hands on the on the dashboard, right, on the cockpit. Put
Right.
your hands on there, and then just put your rudder the opposite direction. See? And the plane fixes and it goes straight down. And then he's able to recover. And it's kind of like just to show him, don't start touching buttons and doing all of this. All you have to do is this, right? So kind of like a focus mechanism. Don't touch it.
Right.
Let this one thing do its work, do its job. And this is it, man. Don't touch it. Same thing as trading. Let it do its job. You got the plan in place. Don't overtrade your strategy. I tend to do that. I'm not gonna lie. I tend to take a lot of partials,
Sure.
but
Oh yeah, sure.
let it
It's
play. I
I
almost
do
got
it
out
too.
here. Yeah, I almost got out 84, and look, it's hopefully it comes back.
No,
It hits the high.
it's looking
So
now like Nvidia might fail here. It might not work, but who knows, right? 3 minutes
yeah,
from now, we could be over 181, and I've got my partial. I have no idea. So,
yeah,
like you said,
yeah.
let it do
All right,
its thing.
let's.
Now, AMD looks great right now. I wish I was
I
long on
didn't
that
have
one.
AMD on my list. That's why I didn't
Oh
see
well,
it. I didn't have.
it
I
was
know you
on my
watch. You
list,
have it
but
on. Yeah.
it didn't look like it was about to make a move. Yesterday, it made a great move. I didn't think it would do it twice in a row. So
Yeah.
here's
Nvidia. What's the
Pav.
play? Nvidia was definitely the play.
Wow, 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 wow.
Wow.
Pav M has our popcorn stock over $20. Halted twice so far this morning. It looks like. Um, made a high of what 24.50. So
Hmm.
remember, it was $13, Carlos, when we were looking at it pre-market. So
Which one, Peter?
Pav M,
Oh, PavM.
PAVM.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. See it here, still trying to get going. It's dangerous stuff, man. What's the pattern here? Like, what are you trading, right? Even scalping could
Yeah.
be dangerous.
So,
Be very careful on this thing. All right, let's take a look at where we have here. Baba, nothing. Intel, once again. Intel's doing the same thing it did yesterday. I mean, this is today. Let me pull up yesterday on my bottom chart here, and then we can look at yesterday. It's like identical almost, man. Um, can I pull up the 1 minute for yesterday? Dun, dun, dun.
yeah,
A
Intel
little,
did the same thing yesterday. That's what I said. The same thing
yeah,
with AMD. Like I didn't think either one of them would had it in them to do the same, make the same move 2 days in a
yeah.
row. But I guess
This is
I'm
today.
wrong.
This is today, and this is yesterday. I mean, it just finds a way to get going here. I mean, if you're watching it, got an opportunity on it, great. This thing is it's rocking this morning. When is Intel earnings? I am not sure, but we are starting to heat up on the earnings season.
Mm-hmm. We are. I think the SPY is rolling over here, so that's not
Yeah,
ideal.
it's not gonna help me. I'm gonna take a yeah. Spice rolling over is not gonna help me either. I want to take a partial, but I should wait.
Tesla pushing back to high of day 425. Today's not a day for Apple. It's not doing anything. Oh no, Nvidia.
Wow, I want
Looks
to
like
hit the
Nvidia's
button.
boo Nvidia.
Mm.
Mm-mm-mm.
Let's see. Get up there. Friends, what did you guys trade today? What do you guys trade?
Interesting that the order book on Atlas is still bullish. It's still actually heavy to the top side, but we do have a big group of orders at 180 that seem to be attracting the price more than the orders up to the chain. So again, the market is of course acting as a big drag. And let's take a look. By the way, don't forget, we still have a Q&A happening with President Trump right now.
Hmm.
So he's Trump is being asked by the moderator, do you think there's a recession coming? So he's answering that question right now.
Mm. Yeah, see that this Q&A could be crucial on certain things, depending on what he says here, how he answers things. Here's Oklo. So yeah, good call, guys. Beautiful view at breakout, but I was looking at it here. Oklo is a tough one to trade. I like when it has great volume. Be careful with your share sizing
All
on it.
right.
Um,
Looks like his questions are over.
okay, he's done already.
Yeah, it looks like he's done. So
Yeah. Oh, this could go now then. Um, Oklo. I like that candle. That's a nice candle. Stop. 94.38. All right, small trade on Oklo, guys. Small trade. Long here. Let's see if we get the breakout. I do like this candle here. Stop 94. I took less shares because my stop's got to be all the way at 94.40. So we are giving it almost like almost 90 cents really. But that's okay for Oklo because you can move $1 in this thing very easily. So let's see if we can get it going. And then Netflix, we are at 85, new high. I am going to take a partial here, guys. So breaking a new high. So partial. Oh, there we go. So partial here on Netflix at 85. And wow, nice. This thing worked out pretty good. Netflix for the win today, friends. All right, so there it is, Netflix. And we are long also Oklo. Let's see if Oklo can work. Small position. I have a great trade on Netflix. I don't want to mess up by trading this this thing here, but I think it's a good setup if we can break here. So let's see. I like this candle is really nice. So let's see if this can actually be the support that it can be. If we can get 80 cents out of this, will be awesome. If we can. And we could get more. We could easily Oklo could like give you a whole lot. So don't gotta take a boatload of shares. All right, Netflix, AMD. What else you guys traded here? Nat Gas. I don't really trade Nat Gas. It is tradable though. Rigetti at VWAP. Good call, guys. You guys called this Oklo. Let's see if it actually works. Oklo is hitting morning sellers. We'll see. Took NVDA too soon and got a small loss, but recovered it after. Very nice. Your stock market is like an ATM machine. As long as you dare to catch the falling knife. Oh, I don't know about catching the falling knife. I like to see a knife hit the floor, bounce, and bounce a couple of times. Make sure it's not gonna go low, and I just pick it up. But don't catch it while it's falling. It's not, that is tough. But yeah, it's careful. So many ways to trade this market. So many ways to make money out of this market. Just gotta find what works for you, man.
So Carlos, I added really heavy at 180
Yeah.
here on NVIDIA.
Nice. You have it up?
And I'm looking for let me put it on the screen here. You can see I added twice into the trade. Pretty heavy.
Okay.
I actually tripled my size because I figured I was so close to my break even that I was looking for this bounce because 180 was holding so well.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping to get, a nice big move that I can
Nice. Well, so let's be clear. You triple your size heading back towards you triple your size from what you had left open from
what I had left, yeah.
Okay. Not from you're not risking 3 times more than you normally do.
No.
Got it. Okay. Just want to be clear. Some people are like, "Oh, Peter's risking more than he's it's very well calculated what he's doing here, and it's paying off pretty nice."
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's paying off.
So here we go.
Nice.
This is beautiful. So I'm going to take a partial up here at 180.50. So there you go. That's the bounce I was hoping for. So
awesome.
So this
stuff,
is all
awesome
one trade.
stuff.
Everything from here, this at 949 through
Mm-hmm.
to now. This is all part of one trade. So I added at the top
Nice.
here. You can see I made that accidental partial. I added
Yeah.
again back here at 180, which now, because remember, my original stop was 179.70. And with the
Mm-hmm.
ads I've made, it moves my stop now up just over 180 to 180.08. So this is
Yeah.
great. So, now maybe I can get that move through 181 that I was looking for. And I'm not even sure I'm going to
Beautiful.
wait now. Well, we're getting a good move now. Look at this.
Yeah, I
This is
think things
great.
are looking nice.
95,
See if my
97.
Oklo. We're long
Picking
Oklo
that
friends.
partial. Oh, look at that, Carlos. Beauty.
It's a
Now
beautiful
I'm
thing,
happy.
man.
Now it's a good day. And
There we
and
go.
also like it's not the money, although that's good. What's more is that I feel like I actually played this smart.
The
I don't
execution,
even
right? The
mind.
execution, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind my ad up here because I was looking for the break and the break didn't happen, but I added at a reasonable size, and yeah, I'm actually feeling pretty happy with this trade. Not as happy as you should be about your Netflix trade because that worked out quite nice.
Yeah, this was
Now,
nice.
did you
This
get
is
you
nice.
did you get that spike, that crazy
No, I didn't
spike
even
that
see.
happened
I didn't
3
even
minutes
see
ago to
this. I didn't even see
186?
it. I didn't even see. I
Okay.
don't know when this happened. I
Right.
wasn't looking
Okay.
at it because I was looking at SMR, so I had it to the side here. But I didn't even see that thing just shot up there.
Right.
So I don't know if it was an actual price movement or just a wick that appeared. So we'll see. But I did get above 85, so that's good. And I am looking at Oklo here. Would love to get $1 on Oklo. That'd be nice. But let's see. And yeah, I feel like Netflix is just, I don't know. It is on an uptrend. It's just so slow. So slow.
Come on. Come on, Nvidia. 181.
Yes, we are doing a funded account giveaway.
My goodness.
Absolutely.
I'm glad I took that partial. Once again, 181 is proving tough here. I'm debating what if we get over 181, do I take half my size off or only a quarter? I'm leaning towards just a quarter and then seeing if I can let the rest run, but I may not even have that option. Might not be a decision I have to make.
Yeah. I think if it gets over it, you might
Then
actually,
it might keep
yeah,
going.
you might keep going, right? If
Yeah,
it
I
breaks through it,
agree.
you might actually keep going. So, um,
Yeah. And it's
the
not a
decision, the
massive number of
decision more would be
orders.
like, if you don't get over
Yeah.
it, then
Yeah.
what, because
True.
now you're looking to head back, and you don't want that against your ass. So let's see how it does here. Ah, come
My
on,
goodness.
Nvidia, you piece of garbage. I'm gonna get out of Netflix, friends. It's funny. I say that every time it comes to the 20. Every
So,
time it comes to the 20 moving average, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get out of Netflix, and then it's just, oh, let's see if it bounces. uh, let's see. Let's actually play technicals. Let's see if it actually bounces. Uh, fun, fun,
all right.
fun.
Let's try again with these stops.
Mm.
And we're going to put this one up at 182.20. All right, let's see what we got here. Once again, I set some stops. Didn't work last time, but we'll see if it works this time. This time I put it just over 181 because I want to get the break, 181.04. Hopefully that's not being stubborn, but
Mm. All right, so Oklo at 96, guys. We almost got $1 on this, almost. Ah, no, keep going.
wow. Carlos, you know what's
Yeah.
fascinating is how many different styles people have. I want you to take a look at a trade that got posted in the chat room. Oh no, I lost it now. Hold on. Let's go back here.
By who?
Jake. Jake. His name is Jake, and he posted at 10:04. And he's calling it the best trade of his day, but he took a trade on AMD. And show it for all our friends on YouTube. It's a pretty
Yeah.
unique trade.
Let me zoom into it so I can show you guys here. This is yeah, that's intense.
Look at
That
that.
is,
So he's adding at the low of every candle, and
yeah,
then partialing at the high of every candle. Like that's a lot of that's a lot of commissions. You're in and out, in and out,
yeah,
in. I mean, I don't know. I assume that he's keeping a partial position each time, and he's just sort of adding to and partialing out. But
right, right.
yeah, that's look. I mean, look at how many ins and outs, right?
That's
So it'd
some
be interesting to
active
do the
trading.
math as to does that does that yield more profit than if he just bought and held all the way? Like it might actually be the same or less profitable once you put commissions in there.
Yeah.
So
Also depends the size he's taking, right?
uh
Like if he's taking a certain
yeah,
amount, then he might not want to hold a lot of that through pullbacks, right? Because it's a heavier position, so you gotta be
right.
careful with that too. So it's probably the reason why a lot of us do it, right? Take off to not to kind
Yeah.
of manage risk. So yeah,
Your question on PLTR. No, I mean it does have the rough outline of a mountain pass. I personally wouldn't call it a mountain pass. Two reasons. One, the move high wasn't enough for it to be a good mountain pass. Well, actually, three reasons. Second, the pullback between the high attempts actually crossed through the previous day close, which usually breaks a pattern or negates a mountain pass. The third reason is I didn't see any volume. There was no volume that happened at either high. So while it was a
mm,
high of day right after 10 a.m. when it hit there, it didn't do it on any volume, which doesn't make me confident that that was actually sort of an exhaustive high in this, and PLTR is likely to go lower. Right, it's got too much immediate support right below with the previous day close and the VWAP and all sorts of moving averages. So, short answer for me, no, I wouldn't classify PLTR as a good mountain pass.
look at Oakland's coming to my stop. So yeah, we'll bail on
What
it.
is? Oh,
Oakland. Yep,
Hmm.
yep. I'm out of it.
And are you still in Netflix?
Yeah, I'm still in Netflix. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Look at that
All right, that's good.
rejection. Oh man, I'm so glad I said it. Take a small size. So glad to take a small size because this would have pissed me off after such a great trade on Netflix. So yeah, I literally took very small because I'm like I want to try 'cause I think it's gonna work, but I'm not trying to risk the stuff that we made today. And I'm still in Netflix, thankfully. So let's see. It keeps coming to the 20 and just bouncing off from there. Look at that. Just keeps coming right to it and bouncing off and we'll see if it continues. It's still down 2%, so it looks like it's trying to close the gap down today. I mean, it's
God,
definitely trying.
it's
Oh,
funny how there's the level 2 doesn't show any orders at 180.80 on NVIDIA, but it's definitely got some resistance here. I see my R3, the cam level R3 is at 180.89, we'll call it 180.88. But yeah, there's definitely resistance. Third
mm.
time it's bouncing off of this level here. So
NVIDIA. I'm sorry, AMD. Andrew's still in AMD, looking for 248. Beautiful, beautiful trade. I mean, he's just
yeah,
been slowly parceling up there.
50 shares. That doesn't seem like a Andrew sized trade.
Uh, Trying to be patient. That's good. All right. Jumping out of Netflix. I think the fun is over. I'm out here. And we had a really good trade. Look at this sell we're getting on Netflix. It's the
Oh,
world
yeah.
falling apart? No, Spy's not falling apart. Netflix is falling apart. Oklo is falling apart. But yeah, I'm out of it. But yeah, very took some time, but worked out. What periods do I have for my moving averages? Well, I got the 9 EMA, 20 EMA, and then this is the 50, which I don't really worry about 2 months when it comes to the smaller time frames in the 20 and the 200. I believe it's the 50. Yeah, 50 and the 200, more for like the daily. And these are SMAs opposed to EMAs.
Carlos, I'm seeing so much resistance at this strange level here that I just took another partial. I'm leaving my
Yeah.
stop over 181 because I think if we get there, I'll still take that partial. But now that means that
Mm-hmm.
my low stop, let's see, I haven't had a lot of luck being able to edit my order, edit trigger order. I've tried to do this before and it doesn't always work. Send new order. Yeah, see, it never works when you send a new order for whatever reason.
No, it's it. No,
I
I
don't.
think the interact. I don't know if it's interactive brokers doesn't do it because if you do that like with in sim it does it, but if you do it with interactive brokers, it doesn't do it. Like it blocks it the new order or something. I don't know why.
Yeah,
And I used to trade with Centerpoint
yeah,
before, and they allowed it. Centerpoint was another broker we used wow back when, um, and they
right.
allowed it. They allow send
I
new orders,
remember
which
I
is
used to
nice.
trade with them.
Yeah, because you will
Good
send
morning,
it
Right.
guys.
and then replace everything. Good morning, sir.
How are you doing, sir?
Doing good. How are you today?
I am pretty good. I'm in a very good mood today.
That's good.
Not even Peter can ruin it.
Well, I'll do my best. I'm uh I'm happy too. I started pretty rough. I Christmas treed NVIDIA, but we're in a good trade right now. It's going well. I can't seem to break through this level to get to 181, but still.
I know, I saw your NVDA trade. It's like a big Christmas tree.
I know.
So for me, just quickly go through the recap for the trades that we did at the open. Carlos put it in the chat room as well, the voice. So AMD was a very nice trade. We made a lot of money on AMD. So it opened very strong, 1 minute range breakup. I didn't take that. On the pullback, I went long. And I was hoping that Atlas was really bullish and it dropped on me. I got stopped out, but it came back up, and I went long and this massive run to 248. And I'm still in there. So that's the AMD trade. And then NVDA did the same thing. So, consolidated and then ripped higher for 5 minutes range breakout. So again, when I saw this rip, I started going long in this area. Then we got this move, but I did it through NVDA. So it's a 2 times leverage. Then, as you see, came up. So went long, added more, and then I got this really nice move. But the biggest trade that I had was today was Intel. Intel was really ripping up, really strong at the open. It was now up 10%. And I went long and I popped up for the break of 5 today and I got out. I got a big size on it. That's why I really got out of it too early. But Intel also really started moving 4 or 5% after I got out. But I had a really big size, so I had to keep it as a very uh, short scalp. So it turned out to be a pretty good day. And right now we have only AMD. Yeah, there's not much left in our accounts. You guys had a good time? We had a lot of really good traders also in the chat room making really good money. Funded accounts are doing really well. So it's great, really great.
Awesome. Yeah, we had a good day. We had a great day today.
Okay, perfect.
It was pretty choppy at the open. I had a couple of small losing trades until I managed to get a really nice trade on the SPY on that move up when we kind of broke out of that range, and then just did a nice range break on Tesla as well. Just closed that trade out. So back in the green for the day.
All right, so now we do have a special guest today. One of my favorite performance coaches, Creda Sheehy Kelly. She is with us, and we want to have a chat about a conversation that is really passionate. It's a passion for me. The psychology of the high performance and peak performance is really, as I mentioned in the chat room, is a topic that I'm very uh, interested in how to be in always the peak performance, mindset, physically, mentally and everything. I recently started a podcast. I had a conversation
Yes.
with, yeah, Peter, I had a conversation with one of the Canadian Olympians. And it was a great conversation because Olympians are also very similar to us. They are always in a simulator and then they have to perform. And no matter how good they are in a simulator, when they perform, everything matters in that, live trading or live action that they're doing. But mentally is a very, very big challenge because a lot of time, high performance, they uh, really connect their identity to their performance, and that can be a really big impact on their mental health and obviously later physical. That's why a lot of high performance are, struggling with addiction. Like Diego Maradona was one of the best football player in the world. You know what happened, and you know, and it just doesn't have to be even in world class. It could be anywhere. Like my father had struggled with addiction. I struggled with addiction, and I'm a high performer as well. And if I can't perform, the failure or just not, disappointing myself puts a lot of pressure on my mind and obviously on my body. So we want to have that conversation with Crede. Crede, thanks for joining us. You're looking great.
Thanks for having me, Andrew. I'm super excited for this conversation, especially in light of your new podcast. Yeah, I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on it. So, yeah, thanks for having me on today.
Yeah, of course. Can you tell us about, I think the topic that you wanted to conversation, and again, we are very interested, is about the high performance, identity, how they connect this, with their, and how can control themselves.
Exactly. So what I wanted to talk about was something that I've seen trip up a lot of traders. So it's, in relation to high performance, it applies to high performers from every domain, but specifically it's something that I keep seeing again and again with traders, and traders also who've not quite reached the high performance level. They might not be making the money that they want to make yet, but they have the mindset of setting out to be exceptional. But there's something that often trips this type of person up. And so I thought it'd be helpful to discuss it and help people to understand if it's something that a trap that they're falling into, so, and then what they can do to overcome it. So I'm calling it the high performer trap. And it's basically exactly as you said, where you attach your identity to the identity of the high performer rather than just focusing on the tasks that will take you to the level of high performance. So it's kind of like a difference between attaching your ego from the psychology sense to an identity and just focusing on tasks. And so to make this a bit more concrete, what I see happen is that a lot of traders overestimate the complexity required to reach a high performance level, but they underestimate the amount of consistency required. So it's actually really more about doing the boring, consistent tasks repeatedly and sticking to that for the long haul, more so than trying to, have really complex strategies or have one thing that I see a lot of people try and rely on is tech that helps them, measure their heart rate variability or all of these different kind of tech things that feed into high performance. But if you don't have the basics right, and if you're not kind of covering those bases and just doing those things consistently, all of those additional resources for high performance won't really do anything. So I guess what I'd love to open up the conversation with you about is just understanding, especially because you're, high performing in trading business and in, in your sporting, like mountain climbing, all of that. What's your take on that idea of the boring, consistent things just done repeatedly over time, the stuff that doesn't really light up anyone's identity or ego, but just requires grit? Would you find that that's something that you've had to do in each of those domains in order to reach high performance, or what would your take on it be?
For trading, one thing that for me trading is really I'm enjoying this video game nature of day trading. It's like solving a puzzle. I wake up every morning, and sometimes when I miss trading, I'm sad that I cannot come to play a video game. It's really a game. It has been a gamified activity for me. Of course, money is important. Not anymore. At the beginning, it was not. But for me, like $5,000 up and down during that day doesn't really change my life. But I'm super excited to come to trade because I think it's really fun. It made it really fun for me, like a video game. And of course, the community. Like I love to come and see the 1,000 members that we have. They're all friends. And this is a conversation that I had with the Olympian that I had in Canada. And she said, she's also a coach now, she's retired. And she said that you have to make it like a game rather than a competition. And you have to just enjoy the process of, this, playing every single day. Um, for climbing that you mentioned that I think high altitude climbing is a high performance task, but again the climbers, the mountaineers, over time they know that the expedition every single day is fun. It's not about the summit, it's about the journey, it's about the views, about meeting new people, about going to cool places in the world rather than just being on the summit and that summit photo.
So it's that focusing on the process, like enjoying the process of what you have to do daily in order to achieve the outcome. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And one thing that I've seen with traders particularly is that often people come into trading when they've been successful in other areas. So they've had, a corporate career and then they want to transition out of that into trading. They want more autonomy, whatever it is, or they've come from maybe the military or sales or whatever it is. And what it takes to be successful in those arenas is different to what it takes to be successful in trading, because in many arenas, the harder you work, the more effort you put in, the more time on the clock, the better that, or the higher your performance will be and the better results you'll get. But in trading, it's not necessarily about doing all of the things or working 24/7, being at the markets 24/7, reading all the books, all of that. It's about being strategic in how you operate. So working smarter instead of harder. And so what I see that trips people up with this high performer trap is that they work really hard, but they're working on the wrong things. And so they're not actually being efficient with their time and their energy. And then that feeds into, if they're not seeing progress because of that, it feeds into a sense of failing or not being enough. And actually the fix is to understand that trading is an entity unto itself, and what's required to be successful in trading is slightly different to what's required to be successful in those other arenas. And so it really is about figuring out the simple, straightforward things that you just need to do repeatedly over time in order to be successful, and releasing yourself from that attachment to wanting to be seen as a high performer or, trying to outwork everybody else so that you can get the results that you want. I don't know if you see that as well with traders, or how does that land with you?
Yeah, I do. As you mentioned, there's a lot of high performers are actually being attracted to trading because it's a challenge. It's a challenge, and usually, in our community, I've seen, thousands of our members in person. They're coming to Vancouver. You've seen them, and they're all successful in other fields: doctors, businessmen, entrepreneurs, and mid-career people, and they all, come into that. However, there is one big difference that they will be shocked, most of them, is that in business, in career, in other fields, your success depends on external interactions, other people, colleagues, bosses, employees. But in trading is all you, and you have to accept all the decision. And that's usually the thing that people, get shocked. Like we have the military people, Mike and John. I mean, when they are in a battle, it's a group work, the orders that come from the top, and logistics and everything. But in trading, Mike have to make the decision himself, and has to carry the consequences himself. And that's something that it takes some time for them to adjust. Another thing is that they have to accept that the market is unpredictable, and the mistakes that they're making is not the losses that they're having is not because of the mistakes that they're taking necessarily. A lot of time, a very good system have 50% losses, and it's just nature of the probability. And that they struggle a lot. I had one trader that he was an air traffic controller, and then he said, "I'm coming after 25 years mindset of no mistake. Mistake means disaster." And he just couldn't figure out this fact that the market is random, and 50% of the time you're wrong. You're a loss, but that doesn't mean that you are wrong.
Exactly. I think that's one of the biggest challenges that I see with traders, is that inability to accept a loss. And again, it comes back to that identity. If you've developed your whole identity over your whole life of being someone who succeeds in sport, who succeeds in, school, college, whatever career you have before you come to trading, and then suddenly you have to accept losses and completely switch your thinking and understand that that's part of the game, and that's how you ultimately reach success. It's a very hard mindset shift to make. So what I always recommend to people who might be struggling with this, high achiever in one area and then moving into an area where that framework doesn't hold anymore, something that, or some simple tasks that people can do to focus more on the execution of the actions that are going to lead to high performance, are just really simple things like tracking your sleep, raising your physical, emotional, and mental state before you go into the market. So you already kind of are checking in with yourself and have an idea of what state you're in psychologically before you enter the market. And sometimes you can catch if you're not feeling right for whatever reason. It might prevent you from making big mistakes or deviating from your plan in that session. Other things are just refining your review. So a lot of high achievers and people who are really striving to be that high performance trader, something that they do is they make a really complex post-trading review process. And then it's so complex and there's so much data in it that they actually just don't do it. They don't track it because it's overwhelming. So they set out with great intentions, but then they don't actually track the data over time. And so the review is kind of meaningless for them. So really slimming that down, making it super simple, and then tracking the data religiously every single day until you start to see patterns in, how your emotions are impacting your execution of your trades. Maybe the exact part of the trade that you need to focus on from a psychology perspective, maybe it's jumping out of trades too soon or not taking A+ setups, and then just laser focusing in on that. So these simple kind of repetitive tasks are the things that actually over time give you real insight into how you're trading, into your own performance, and allow you to see where you can intervene then to get the biggest uplift in your performance. So it's usually the simple things done repeatedly over time that will actually lift everything across the board. It's the same with athletes. Like, I've worked with a lot of elite sports teams, and it's, say, the kicker on a rugby team staying back after practice, just kicking and doing it themselves repeatedly in order to improve that skill. It's a boring task. It's not something that anyone is giving them credit for. But then when they go into a championship match and it's the deciding factor if they win the game or not, comes down to a final kick and they can pull it off, it's because of all that boring, consistent work that they've done, leading up to it, that allows them to pull it off. So for me, it's those kind of simple processes that most traders, a lot of traders, I will say, that I've worked with, didn't have those basics dialed in, and they were trying to solve bigger challenges in deviating from their trading plan. But until they had actually put those building blocks in place, it's hard to solve the bigger issue, because you're missing some of the kind of standard basic stuff that will be the foundation for high performance.
What do you suggest tracking? Like, I started after I got an Apple Watch, I started tracking my sleep, and it's how fast I'm so fascinated how bad I'm sleeping after I started tracking it. And I haven't done much to improve it, but just tracking it, it's in back of my mind that you gotta improve the sleep. Like, I thought I'm sleeping like 8, 9 hours, but I'm actually sleeping an average 6 hours. And for someone like me that I'm very active, it's really bad. And then I realized that the nights that I'm sleeping longer, I'm actually performing better in trading and in running. Another thing that, I had a conversation with this Olympian, and she said something really fascinating. She said that there are research that if you're a little bit dehydrated, your cognitive ability is down 10%, and they have measured it. And I didn't know that, like, even the water, like proper hydration, impacts the cognitive ability. And trading is all about finding puzzles and cognitive ability. What are you think they should track, and how they make this correlation? Because it's also really hard to make the correlation.
So I love that you're saying that. They're the exact kind of things that I'm talking about. And that hydration one is so important. So I think sleep, hydration, like your physical well-being, is probably paramount. And people maybe, if you're an athlete, that makes sense because obviously it's a physical game. It's a physical execution of skill. But in trading, it's equally as important. And I think sleep is the absolute most critical one. So if somebody comes and they want to work on confidence, or they say, I'm jumping out of trades too soon, but they're sleeping like 5-6 hours a night, usually that's where we'll start working first, because it's interesting that you say 6 hours. I'm going to butcher the explanation of this, but there's 2 different studies that basically combined together suggest that if you get only 6 hours or less sleep a night repeatedly, over time, I think it's over a week or slightly longer, maybe it's 10 days, you actually start operating as if you're impaired, as if you were under the influence of alcohol. So, it's a bit more... I'm not really explaining that precisely, but it is in research, and I've looked it up because it's something that I've looked into. So basically, if you're sleeping 6 hours or less a night over a long period of time, it's like you're over the driving limit for alcohol, and you're actually getting in front of your computer screen and you're executing trades and you're risking money under that level of cognitive stress. So that's why it's not just a nice to have well-being side of things to say sleep is really important. It's actually critical for you to be able to execute cognitively at the level that you need to. And the same with the hydration. So at a more complex level, there's an exercise that I do with traders when I start working with them one-to-one, or in my course actually, and they map out all of the different factors that impact performance in any way under different headings. So under the physical heading, under the psychology, mental emotional heading, tactical, skill, and then lifestyle. And so in lifestyle, we'd be putting things like hydration, sleep, even downtime, all of these different things that, if you were doing all of these things optimally, would produce peak trading performance. But that's a little bit of a complex exercise. So even as a quick takeaway, what I would recommend as an absolute baseline for everyone to track would be your hours of sleep the night before you trade, and do it in a spreadsheet. Boring, actually tracking the data every day. The amount of sleep that you got last night, your physical rating out of 10. So let's say you're suffering with, I don't know, a cold or something, your physical rating is probably going to be lower. Your mental sharpness out of 10, and your emotional state out of 10. And then you give yourself an average as well, of all of those out of 10. And if you're already seeing that, for whatever reason, you're a 4 out of 10 that day, that's a strong indicator that maybe you should sit out of trading that day. You should sit out of the market. Or let's say that you're good physically and mentally, but emotionally you're a 2. And you know that your tendency is to revenge trade or go past your daily loss limit when you're feeling emotionally triggered, then you'll know to watch out for that when you're trading. So I would track those things, and then something simple like a performance goal. We've talked about this a lot of times. So setting a goal that's focused on the execution of your plan rather than the outcome. So it could be 80% or more of all trades taken fit my setup criteria from my trade book. And just tracking those simple things, like just those things. So one key performance goal, sleep and that PEMS rating, every single day religiously, over time, you'll start to see a pattern. So if you're somebody that doesn't get enough sleep, you'll likely see that on the nights that, you got, say, 6 hours or less, that you tend to take setups that don't fit your criteria. And you'll start to see correlations in the data. So it's even those few factors, if you were to track them over time, that will help you to identify exactly what's happening in your trading and why. And so in that situation, someone might come and say, oh, I've got a big problem on the psychology side of things. I just can't, I'm being impatient. I can't wait for my setups to appear. I'm jumping into trades that aren't quality trades, but the solution will be sleep. So rather than doing anything on affirmations or visualization or anything like that, the first port of call will be to address the sleep. So that's how that, brings us back to that idea of the high performer trap and trying to make everything complex and thinking that the solution is always some complex solution that requires a lot of time and effort. Sometimes it's actually just going back to basics, getting the sleep, tracking the PEMS, tracking the performance goal, and that alone can shift things so that you find that if you get more sleep, you're taking more quality setups, and then obviously over time you're going to be more profitable.
Yeah, I mean, it's even the overeating is a consequence of lack of sleep or a lot of other, not recovering properly because of the cortisol level in the body, and the body, always in the stress mode. And it's really fascinating. It's really easy to track, especially with the, this technology like Apple Watch or O-rings and stuff. I love my Apple Watch. It's really nice, beautiful performance, and it can do track and everything. And it's quite accurate, actually. When I was in Nepal and I was going through the higher elevation, is really accurately was tracking my oxygen level and breathing noises that I had. So in a higher elevation, it was fascinating that how can you get my breathing in my Apple Watch? I don't know how they do that, but as I was going through the elevation, 5,000, 6,000 meter, it was telling me that your breathing is going higher and higher and higher. It means your body is under stress for oxygen. It's really nice to do that. You did have a program or some sort of a package, if I'm not mistaken, that how people track it. And did you have that? Did you have something?
It's part of my so I have a signature program. So it's my system, it's my methodology of how I help people execute their trades better. So the biggest challenge psychology side of things is people not doing what they know they should be doing. So I have a Go Deep to Level Up Your Trading is my system that takes people right through all of the different tasks and exercises to focus on in order to build really strong psychological resilience in the markets and execute your trades. So that exercise that I'm talking about and that tracking thing is part of it. They're actually the first two modules is focused fully on doing a whole audit of all of the things that impact your performance, like down to sleep, down to having a social life, whatever it is that fills you up with energy and helps you execute better in the market. There's that exercise. And then we go into really in-depth goal setting. And part of that is actually setting up a tracking system for yourself. So it's really not, you're talking about really great technology there, but before you ever get to that, before you ever get to the sophisticated journaling tools or any of that from the psychology side of things, just a simple spreadsheet and tracking some data can make a massive difference to people. So that's kind of what we focus on. We set that foundation before we ever go near looking at subconscious beliefs and how they're impacting your execution in the market. We get that baseline stuff dialed in. So that's probably what you're talking about, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think so. I think I know a few people working with you, and since I started working with you, they've changed their life. Like Megan, for example, is one of them. I know she's working with you, and then Megan is now a trail runner. She's improving in her life, and I'm fascinating following her. And I know that the changes when she's been working with you for some time. I think the trading, being aware of all of these help a lot of people in different aspects of life. Even if you track all of these and your trading doesn't improve, you might actually improve your life much better. And I've seen a lot of people around me that trading helped them to become much better. Like Mike, for example, now is running marathon. Peter did the marathon. Megan is a trail runner. Thor, for example, one of our moderators, have you seen him recently? He's like a Terminator. Like he has changed, lost a lot of weight and so fit running and everything. And these are the people that it's obvious that this process of becoming better trader have helped them in life and other aspects. So tracking them is a good thing, not only for trading, for everything.
100%. Like that's, a lot of people actually, even in feedback from my program, it's definitely not something that I put out there as marketing because it's not something I can stand over and say it'll definitely happen. But the system that I teach it comes from sports psychology as well. So like it's applicable in sports, it's applicable pretty much across the board in any high performance domain. But through going through that type of self-improvement with a very specific goal in mind, it does force you to look at what's holding you back. Like what are the deep blockers within you that are holding you back from achieving your goals? Where can you bring more consistency to your preparation, to your review, so that you can get more out of the hours that you spend on trading or on your sport or whatever it is. So I do think that the process of becoming better and becoming a high performer in any arena does force you to become a different person, and in a positive way. I definitely can't take credit for Megan's amazing trail running and all of that, but I do, I would agree that what you're saying, you're seeing that in the BBT leaders, moderators and all of that, as they're getting more consistent, more refined, they're performing better in their trading, it's carrying over to other areas of their life, because you can't be one person in trading and then a different person outside in other areas of your life. It just doesn't work like that. Like much as we would like to be able to completely compartmentalize the person and the performer, there's only a certain amount really or a certain extent that you can do that too. So trading is probably one of the harshest arenas where you go in and you think that you're just going in to learn a strategy and to become profitable and you'll make some money, and actually it becomes the clearest mirror as to everything that's holding you back in your life and as a person. And then it shows you these opportunities to upgrade your thinking, your behaviors, your knowledge, so that you can perform better in the market. But in doing so, then you actually become this whole different, higher version of yourself. And I've seen that again and again. And I'm not talking about in just traders that have worked with me. I mean, traders that are doing it themselves, working with other people, anyone who's had to go through that process of leveling up in all of these different areas becomes a different person in the process. And I think it's really rewarding. It does definitely carry into personal lives, into fitness, and into overall fulfillment, I think. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. They say there's a saying that they say that's how you do anything, that's how you do everything. I have a question actually from a couple of members. It's pretty much the same question. So Amy is asking, like, she's been trading for trying to trade for about a year and a half, and she puts her career on hold to some extent, and the process of learning to be wrong is exhausting for her. And what advice would you offer for traders who are at the awareness stage, that they were wondering that even if trading is for them? Another question that was very similar was that how can you stop blaming yourself? That I'm constantly blaming myself. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I've done that. So maybe there are two questions, but a lot of people wonder that, okay, I'm not getting results. I'm doing all of these stuff. How do I know that it's not for me and I should stop?
So I would say try everything on the psychology side before you give up. Obviously, I don't know your financial situation and all of that, but if we were just talking theoretically, usually the piece that's missing for people, if they're working really hard, they're doing everything, they're reading the books, they're like giving it everything and it's not moving. They find that they keep experiencing the same challenge. Usually what's happening is it's in the subconscious. So the area to work on is the subconscious mind. And it's that people's deep subconscious beliefs and their identity there's programs running there that are not serving their trading. And so it doesn't matter how much conscious work you do, analyzing, like tracking the data. If there's a subconscious belief that's holding you back, so example that, achievement, I derive my self-worth from achievement. So I'm only worthy as a person if I'm achieving results. That's a really common one, which would link with not being able to take a loss, because taking a loss means that I'm less of a person. Those deep beliefs will trip you up in your trading. And they're usually, in my experience, if someone is repeatedly coming up against the same issue and they're starting to question, is trading even for me? Go and look into that area of the subconscious beliefs and how they're impacting your trading, and put some mental training tools in place to try and reshape that. So you figure out what the belief is that's tripping you up, then you reshape it with mental training. And I would say, now this is a total non-research based guesstimate, but I would say in 95% of cases that will shift things. So whether trading is for you or not might be a bigger question, but if it's because you're coming up against this repeated challenge, it's usually the subconscious mind that's the blocker. And if you can target that and work on it with very specific techniques, you probably should see then an uplift in your performance, and you'd see that block dissolving.
I have a question that impacts myself mostly, but I'd like to ask you. I myself going through a depression right now, and it's also some sort of a midlife crisis. I achieved a lot, and I know that I've been plateaued in my achievements. Like, I made the money that I wanted, I had the business, and I climbed the biggest mountains, and I'm going through a very, serious depression in my mind. Because I can't get that high from another thing. And what do you think I should do? Like, or people who reach to this level of achievements through the peak performance, and then they go, like, again, I follow some of the, people like Maradona was the situation. Like, after, becoming the board figure, and then cocaine was his thing until he died. He just never could get that high from something else, had to go through cocaine. What do you think I should do? Like, that's a question for me.
So I have a very clear, specific answer. And first I'll have to do the ethical, obviously, if somebody is experiencing depression and, going to seek clinical help and, you know, professional help with it, always first port of call. But from my perspective, it's a really classic example, and you can disagree with this if you want. This is just my read of it. The people that, you know, pursue really high lofty goals and goal after goal, and they get that high and they set the new goal, usually what's actually happening is that they're equating their self-worth, like their internal worth as a person, how they feel about themselves, their self-love, all of that. It entirely depends on external results. And that's the problem. So it doesn't matter how many mountains you climb or how many millions are in the bank account, or, you know, none of that actually matters, because it's a operating system at your subconscious level that is out of whack. So the solution to it, which is not easy, it takes a lot of, you know, internal work. It's actually like loving yourself. And I'm saying this to you, but to anyone who's struggling like this, loving yourself for who you are, completely separate to achieving anything. Like if you never achieved anything in your life, but you had self-love, you were totally, you know, you really felt inherently worthy of love and happiness and all of that, just for by virtue of who you are as a person, as opposed to what you achieve. When you can get to that place, it you know, then the achievements are great, but they don't define you as a person. And that's usually where the kind of happiness comes back in.
Do you love yourself for who you are? Like,
I do.
have you reached
I
the point?
do, genuinely. I didn't always, but I did a lot of therapy and a lot of self-work on that. Like, so, you know, I'm a walking example of having gone from one version of probably being my, you know, own biggest enemy to completely coming full circle. And I genuinely do love myself, like, for who I am. And I love to achieve things, for sure. I'm a competitive, like, driven person, but and it's not perfect. Like, I have to work on that, you know, but yeah, I could say that hand on heart, I do. But that I had to do a lot of work to get to that point.
Yeah, I found it, you know, a lot of the traders who are high achiever, it's a blessing and it's a curse. Like my father was the same. Like he was you know, had nothing, you know, no education, and then really achieved a lot of success financially. And then he really reached to that plateau and then went through the depression, serious addiction, and he passed away very early in life. And a lot of high achievers getting into a challenge of trading and trying to get better and stuff that has always served them in life, but sometimes it really catches them and you have to be really careful. But to your point, I do therapy. I am trying to, that's exactly what my therapist is trying to work on my psyche, that go through my childhood, go through the traumas that I have, and try to connect with my inner person and try to love that person. And this anger that I always had and make it the fuel for my success, you know, don't burn me and save me, you know, after that. I don't know how much time you have, but may I see if there's any question that people have?
Yeah, I'm happy to stay on if that suits. You know, I know you have your schedule, so, but I'm happy to stay on if there's questions. Yeah.
Let me see if there's any question, guys.
Just to your point there, Andrew, I think it's important. Like, you're doing the exact work that would resolve it. It just takes time. Like for me, it took 10 years to overcome depression and an eating disorder, and then it continued to be something I worked on, and now it's completely out of my life. Like it's not something I struggle with at all. It's never going to come back. But like, you can be doing all the right stuff, and just in the process of doing it, it takes time. And, you know, there's not more you can be doing if you're doing the work. It's a process.
Joey was saying that Joey is asking a question. It's not a question, it's more like a statement that day trading saved my life from a very dark place after losing a loved one. And again, he took apparently this challenge of trading and getting, you know, himself challenged to recover from a crisis, a tragedy in his life. And I've never actually thought about that, that trading can actually, this challenge can help you come out of some dark stage of life.
Yeah, that's amazing that I can see how, like, it's given a focus, a sense of achievement. It's, you know, it's a really positive thing. So that's wonderful that that's happened for that person.
To answer the question that Amy had up there, that when to quit, I think if I, as a trader and educator, if I want to answer that, is a lot of time psychology is not a problem. Your system has the problem, and people blame it to psychology. Even Dr. Brett Steenbarger was saying that People love to blame psychology for their inconsistency, but a lot of time is actually coming from their system. So in my opinion is if you give it a good reasonable amount of time, like maybe 2 years, but not full time, and only a couple of hours a day, or maybe a week, and then you realize that you don't get the consistency with moderate investment that you had in your education, then maybe trading is not for you. And I do believe that trading is not for everybody. Like some career are not for some people. Like I can never be a doctor. I hate blood and everything. I can never become professional athlete in Olympics because I'm not passionate about. And I think that's okay if you're not built for something. Do you give this
Yeah,
advice, credit, to some people that maybe sometimes trading is not for you?
100%. Absolutely. Like there's so many things that I could never be good at. It's not, and I might try it. And even if I was interested in it, I might try it and it's just doesn't fit my personality, doesn't, whatever. I think that the key is really trying to, well, probably having an actual financial number that, I'm prepared to lose this much. And if I go past that, I'm cut off. I think that's just practical. But I also think that, like you say, doing everything you can to get the strategy right. Like sometimes, even at the higher level, when people have a good strategy, sometimes we'll work on something from the psychology, but actually it'll turn out that the market conditions have changed and they need to adapt their strategy. So like you say, it's not always psychology. But I think if you give it a really good shot at learning the technical side, addressing the psychology, and you're not enjoying it, it feels like a strain and a struggle all the time. I think that, there's no failure in admitting that it's not for you. Like I quit a PhD in my life, and I guess a lot of people might see that as a failure, but I think it's one of the best decisions I made. I put so much work into it, but it came to a point where the effort I was investing wasn't going to turn into advancing me down the path I wanted to go, and so I made a decision to cut my losses. And I'm still to this day glad that I did that. I learned a lot from doing it, but I'm glad I did it. So I don't think that changing direction is failure if it's the right thing for you. So I think people find like being able to figure out if it's right for them or not is critical.
Yeah, and you in that time when you quit, you didn't. I mean, now I know you don't, but in that time you felt that you actually failed, or no, when you quit the PhD?
No, I didn't do it lightly. But I was so clear on where I wanted to go with my career. And I was so clear on the trajectory of, we lost a year of research and it got delayed. And I was having to choose actually between purely focusing on research or focusing on the application. So I much prefer the applied side of, well, at the time it was sports psychology. And I did the PhD on the assumption that I'd be able to work on both those streams at the same time. And it got to the point where I would have had to have dropped the applied work in order to only focus on the research. And that wasn't my overall goal. Like I loved the research, it was interesting, but ultimately I always wanted to be an applied practitioner. And so it just got to the point where I was like, this is taking me down a slightly different path to where I want to go. And it's no longer like the correct mechanism to get me where I want to go. And so I quit it. But it was definitely like, I thought about it a lot, talked to therapists, like really worked on the decision. So when I did make the decision, it was a clean cut.
Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed the conversation, and if people want to connect with you, I put a link in the chat room and in YouTube. You have a really great website, a lot of resources, free resources as well. I think creditperformance.com. Is that the URL?
That's it, yeah. And there's a free masterclass there, free trading psychology masterclass, that if people want to understand about a few of the key challenges that people experience as traders, the psychology side of things, if they want to kind of understand more about that and learn a few fixes for those things that they can implement straight away, that free masterclass is probably the first place to start.
Yeah, and you have a YouTube channel and you're active in pretty much all social media, X and Instagram, I know, and LinkedIn as well. So guys, feel free to follow and reach out to Crede. And I think your email is crede@credeperformance.com, yes?
That's it, yeah. Absolutely.
Also, we have the link on our website. So if you go to the homepage, I think there is in one of the menu bars, it's in your, so easy for people to find you. I'm very grateful. And we have also a book together on my trade book. Crede has authored one chapter, which is really nice on psychology and mental edge. I highly recommend guys check it out. And thank you so much for your time. I really enjoy talking to you every single time.
Thanks, Andrew. I love chatting to you. It's always a really insightful discussion. So thanks for having me, and hopefully we'll speak again soon.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Bye.
All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna hand it over to Thor and Vanessa. It's Wednesday Psychology. So goodbye, guys, and see you tomorrow in the chat room.
Hey, Thor, I think you might be on mute.
Oh, I'm muted. So I just said hi to myself for no reason. So I just gave the best intro of all time and nobody heard it. It was just the best intro. I've never had a better intro than that moment. It was wasted. I've wasted the good surprise. Luckily we have Dr. Vanessa here with us for our Brains Day. It's Wednesday. Bonjour, Dr. V. It is so good to see you.
Bonjour, everyone. How are you guys? What an interesting conversation we just had. I mean, that was amazing. Really liked it.
Definitely. I'm always so impressed with Andrew's transparency. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like someone who's kind of he's at kind of like the top of the game. And then in order to be like humble enough to like kind of admit that even at that level, you're actually struggling. You know what I mean? Like maybe emotionally. I think this is something to really pay attention to because, I've seen lots of really, really good traders go the other direction. And you never really know why that could happen, but maybe Andrew's giving us some peek into what we could be another 10 years down the road, as we start to, as we've climbed our mountains and done our things, it's how do you actually what's really happy? You know what I mean? What's what really fulfills you.
But
So
what
it's
yeah, sorry.
no, all you, Doc.
What I really love is the self-awareness.
Mm,
Whatever is happening, it's just like how aware he is of himself. And also the ability that is so important. We talked about that a lot. Being able to be vulnerable.
mm-hmm.
That's a very important quality in trading. Like having a hard time and being okay with it and being okay to share, to reach to a community, to work with other traders, to show your trades, to share your struggles. That's how you grow, not by just putting everything inside in a nice Tupperware and being all fine on the outside. So I love the transparency and honesty. That was awesome.
No, it's quite actually, because as many of you know at this point, Vanessa and I have a mentoring group together, Alchemists, and we, and we actually have more or less well, I guess it's not, it's a more, we have a Traders Anonymous situation. So
Yeah.
where every single week, Vanessa leads our group and getting us to actually do that. Right. And allow us to get into that like a safer place where we're allowed, to feel comfortable doing those things because the way Andrew does it for everyone to see and some of the moderators like myself, we have to really expose ourselves in front of everyone basically like to so that we can let you go through this journey with us, but it's very vulnerable. And Andrew, I think, does that maybe the best of anyone. And I think that I think we gravitate towards the authenticity of that. I
Oh
really like
yeah.
that.
And first time, I mean, I read his book, right? That's what I liked. It was real.
Mm-hmm.
And that's BBT. BBT is real. We try to be real, right? That's the thing.
Exactly.
Being emotionally naked is more scary than to be actually naked in the light.
For
No,
sure.
but like it's to be like just to open your camera. When we do the groups, the session, it's not easy to go in front of everybody and say, hey, like I have the gambler mindset. I'm a gambler still.
Mm.
I just want to make money. This is what's happening. I don't, I break my rules consistently. It's hard because we think that, we're not a good person. We don't have willpower, but it's just natural. And the way that we share it with people, it's how we grow because we hear ourselves. expressing that. And that's, I mean, a gold mine.
I agree 100%. You know, and then a couple things. One, a member says, I think if he found a loving wife that loves him for who he is, that would bring him joy. I agree. But I think he needs to do the self-discovery on himself before he gets the loving wife. She should not be responsible for that journey for him. He needs to fix himself, then find a partner that augments his life. He doesn't need a savior. So I actually kind of disagree with that a little bit just on that context. Like it's important for the man to do, you know, if he recognizes he's depressed, he should not be taking that to somebody else for them to deal with. If anything, I would say he definitely does not need to be in a relationship right now while he figures those things out, you know. So you know, that's, you know, but you know, imagine making decisions just based upon emotion, you know, and that's going to kind of be that too, right? But someone asked Kreda, what would you recommend doing? And I feel like she got almost to what I was hoping she was going to say, which is get a coach, right? Like if you're having psychological issues, you should be working with a psychologist. If you're having trading issues, you should be working with a trading coach. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand why we go to the gym and pay $400 a month for some big strong guy to teach us how to lose weight, you know, or we'll buy tutors for our kids to help them get through math. But when it comes to trading, you just insist on figuring this out by yourself while there's other people that have already put in the work. Like invest in yourself, your health, right? Like so work on your mind and then get yourself the tools that you need to be successful, not just muddling around in the dark. And I think that's, you know, that's where you really make the progress. Is so yeah, get a coach is what I would say.
So the work that you can do on your own is really trying to be aware of everything that goes through your mind when you're trading. So that's the work that no coach can help you with, okay? So you need to become aware. You need to put space between all the steps that lead you to take a trade. And when you behave in a way that you don't want, what was happening? What were you thinking about just before? So having that self-awareness muscle trained every single day. And I was working with someone this week, and really sometimes you will need psychotherapy. I'm sorry, but at some point, sometimes it's really the core beliefs that you entertain about yourself and about life. So sometimes we will have to go deep into like what is happening at the core level. What thoughts are you entertaining that are detrimental to your performance? And sometimes you just need a quick fix, right? To somebody with some distance that look at your stuff. And I really like what Andrew was saying about Dr. Steenbarger about the fact that sometimes, okay, and a lot of times actually, your system is still not good enough for you, so you feel emotional when you trade because it's still not yet comfortable enough. So you get threatened easily because it's not clear enough. Fear comes from a place where we don't have enough information about something. So get all the information that you need, and that's why we advise in the beginning, have yourself a bracket for your trading and let the market show you if the trade idea was the one that you thought it would do, right? Or what could you tweak after like samples of trade? So it's not about confidence. It's about clean execution under emotional load. Right? So yes, the system plays like a major role in that. How comfortable are you in it?
100% system development and then the awareness to execute the system. Right. So I'm an example of that concept, right? And you know, and I give a lot of shout out to my partner in crime here, Dr. V, on this one. I spent a very long time actually winning, but not winning much, right? Like just constantly not growing. And I actually think more traders actually like burn out of the process than die through the process for this reason, You actually go into a prolonged stagnation that you just get frustrated through. Like it's not really that you're losing, it's just like you're not winning either. So it just doesn't become viable. You can never make that replacement income you were hoping for or whatever you were trying to do. It just doesn't happen. And I spent years there. And then I start, and that's with, linked to my book there, using my trading system. And it was working beautifully. Every day I could see these massive moves that never were taken advantage of, right? Because I just wasn't willing to let them. Like I was just getting in the way. I had all the stats, I had everything there. And then I started working with Dr. V in March and started, talking about some of the head game here. And it did not take a massive nudge, maybe a few elbows, but really just kind of some realistic, like, shit, you know what I mean? Look at your trades. Like, why are you not going for it? And I needed that. I needed someone else that was not me to like look at that and someone who I trusted to say, yeah, you can do this. And then sure enough, I started pressing. And then like today, a really nice, I didn't have many calls today that I really liked, but we got a lovely call on gold. I ended up shorting R6 on gold today and got to move in all the way back to R4. Right. So, took one trade today, ended up making, 5K on the trade. You know what I mean? And it was nothing. It was just one in, it was one out. Thank you, Dr. V. It was one in, it was one out, and it was beautiful. Trading can be simple, people. Trading can be not, it can be. The problem is we, with our fears and our anxieties, we think that by casting a wide net of complexity that we are going to create success. And it's actually not that at all. We just create an inability to perform. Right. So Dr. V helped me find simplicity in my trading, cleaned up helped me clean up a fairly complicated trading system. I dialed some stuff in and then gave me the push I needed for that. It's
You were
pretty
so
amazing stuff.
ready,
I was so ready.
Yeah. But you needed someone from outside, just to have a different view and trusting yourself more. So it's awesome. And I didn't have a trade today because I was waiting for RTY at the juicy level that we looked at this morning. But then I'm in short now at a double top. So I figured,
Oh yeah.
I love double tops, it's something I really like. Okay. Especially with your system, thank you very much. We are wide today, right?
Should go back inside.
So, and we went a lot above the ATR. So I shorted at 2700.8. My stop is 2702.4. So above the high, basically. And so now I'm like, can we go to ATR low on this, which is near CP, So I'm in for the ride. Let's see what it does.
Let's go. And that is a beautiful double top too. I love it. And I love the concept too of even if you don't use the cams holistically, right? They can still give you some very ready information that you can use, if you're going to use it. And it's the same thing even with Dr. V's trend lines. Like maybe I don't use the trend line, but if I'm above an uptrend, I would rather be long than be short. Right?
Or Friday when you shorted the trend line on
Right.
gold.
Friday was a beautiful short, and that was just trend alignment, right? With the central pivot. But when you had those two things correlated, it was like it was the right spot, and then it melted afterwards. It was beautiful. So by correlating, the cams with your additional methods. So even if you have your own trade book, you can still use the cams to establish range or ATRs to establish expectation for distance. Like these are
Exactly.
fun
That's what I
things.
like. I like the concept of the range. What can we expect as a run for today? Are we more aligned with a breakout? Like I really like the sentiment of the market, but I love the pivots for that. Like what kind of, is it a breakout or more go back to the mean thing? And thank you. That's awesome. Like I love this entry. I love my risk is so tight and yeah. now let's see what can it do. But I really like that concept. So I don't have to have all the rules inside my head, but just like what kind of expectation do I have for a move today? So
It's beautiful. I love that. That's so much fun.
yeah, it is. So we had only one call today on gold and it worked.
Hmm.
So that's awesome. You don't need to think
Absolutely.
anymore, you know?
So I mean, again, simplicity, right? I mean, I just my endeavor in my trading has been to, to do as little work as possible to make as much money as possible.
That-
Because that's the gift of the market, right? The market has like an inverse relationship to effort versus reward. Right, like everything, and I this hit me months ago after I heard a presentation you did in BBT, and in that presentation you said we're like just not built for this, like we're wired completely the wrong way for this, and I thought about it ever since I've been little. It's always been early bird gets the worm. The harder you work, the more you're going to make, the more result you have. Study harder, study longer. Everything was always do more. The more you do, the more success you will have. And then there's trading. And trading actually kind of says the more you do, the more you dilute opportunity. You know what I mean? So it's trading is really better when you are acute, not verbose. You know what I mean? When you're very intentional and make very specific intentional decisions, rewards are significantly more possible. And so I seem happy, insane trader.
yeah.
I mean, I am happy. It's hard not to be happy. I made good money today. I am sitting on my favorite day of the week because it's when Dr. V and I get to do our YouTube together. So that always makes me happy. You also gave us a peaceful blessing just a minute ago, so I'm pretty stoked about that. I appreciate it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's hard not to be happy when life is amazing, right? Like I'm so grateful for trading, for what trading has brought to me and the opportunity and things like that. And on top of that, I have some fun news for everybody in YouTube too. Today at 4 o'clock, I have been invited to be online with Mike Larson. So stock market talk with the wolf, right? Where I'm going to be on with him. So and with about three other traders on a panel that are going to be talking about Money Show. So we're going to be talking about the stuff we're going to be doing that. So I'm also a little pumped because I'm about to go talk with three super professional finance people and
Huh.
maybe or may not like just have a total party with it. I mean, it's going to be super fun. So keep your eye out, by the way, 4 p.m. Eastern is when that should go.
On the
So
VPT channel, right?
I think it's gonna. So I am linking it in to my X. So this is gonna stream on BBT. It's gonna stream on X. It's gonna stream on Mike Larson's channel. It's gonna simulcast across like I think 10 different major feeds. So you should be able to
Wow.
find it pretty fun. So I'm excited. This is fun. You know what I mean? So so I'm having a good one.
That's exciting.
So
Yay. We'll
and I
watch
made
you.
and I made really good money today. So thank you, Gold.
I
So.
mean, it's a perfect day. Another perfect day
So I
in
do
this
want to point
perfect
out,
world.
it is the 21st of the month. I am by far having my best month ever, and I have taken the least number of trades I've ever taken in my life. I have less than 10 trades right now for the entire month.
That's amazing.
So, I mean, but the trades that I've taken, I've had of the 10 trades I've taken, two of them have been losers, eight of them have been winners for full target runs. Right. So, I mean, yeah, Eastern Standard. So I mean, it's amazing.
It's
So
amazing.
it's so fun.
So you look happy today.
I, I am. I even got my Money Show shirt, Money Show Pro.
Hey,
I'm
ready.
totally ready.
Um,
So that's pretty awesome. So my camera lens looks blurry. Um, I think it's just my glow. I think. I
I'm
think
glowy. It's
I
not
think
my
I'm I
bad.
think I'm just burning the camera right now with too much. I don't know. It could be that. Hold on. I don't. Yeah, let me see.
No, you're
What's my
glowy.
average return year? Oh, wow, that is better. Look at that. Oh, great. Now I can see myself. Oh, you ever see the Modern Family episode where she puts she gets a prescription glasses and then she sees him, and then she's like, "Oh my God!" And she like and she like takes her glasses off, and she won't put them back on. Everyone in YouTube's having that moment right now. They're like, "Oh my!" They're like, "Oh great, we get to see."
Oh,
Oh my God!
oh, he doesn't have hair.
I thought he had hair. Jesus. Oh my God.
That's
That's
awesome.
funny. Oh my gosh. That's all we do here, a bunch of styles. I'm so sorry.
So guys,
What's
so
yeah.
far, sorry, you were about to answer someone? No?
Nope. All you.
So it's January 21st, okay? 2026 is the year of the self-regulation. Have you been able to implement some exercises or habits in your trading about what we talk about, right? Becoming aware of you. Okay, knowing how to trade is not about the technicals. It's about you versus you, how you behave. That's how you know if you can trade or not, like what is happening under uncertainty for you. So I don't know if you have any comments on that. And also, I wanted to share a practical structure that you can implement in your week. So I really want these sessions to be as practical as possible. Like we have fun, we talk about a lot of stuff, but I want to bring some, tools that you can use on a daily basis. And I swear to God, guys, I'm reading scientific papers like every week, okay? It all comes down to the inward journey, like it or not. So you have to figure that shit out, okay? Your shit out. And it's really hard. But we go in small steps. And what happened when we start to trade is that we want to do everything at once. We want to learn everything at once.
So true.
We want to be good at entries, good at placing the stop, good at respecting it, good at picking the best target, etc., 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 right? Try to go step by step, but really like behavioral, saying this week I just want to respect my stop loss and my maximum number of trades. So maybe this week I'm training my brain only for that. And I'm going for base hit for my trading just to let my system work. So where is the next level where the price should bounce? Do I have enough room to make money? And that's going to be my target because I'm working on the stop loss this week. I'm not working on trade management, about target, about R's, no, I'm just focusing on that. And sim trade, as long as it becomes a habit for you to execute your system. So sim trading is not the same as live trading because we don't have the same emotions involved, but it is so amazing for the habit formation.
Well, yeah, I mean, think about from a musician, imagine learning to play a musical instrument during a live performance.
Yeah,
That does not sound fun, right? So, but you're gonna learn to trade in a live environment, like that's pressure on top of not knowledge, right?
exactly.
I mean, that's a horrible scenario to build the worst of behaviors.
But yet that's the reflex that we have. We kind of like we're break even in our sim trading, or we're still losing but less, and then we want to go live. But it's still not great. So why going live? It's like professional athlete. Do you think they say, hey, I don't want to go to practice. I just want to play a real game, because practice is not the same as a real game. Like, what do you think the coach will say? They are practicing. Let's say they have practice tonight. They will practice this just one move. How you put your hand in the best angle for you to shoot. They divide the task in small behavioral steps. And then you blend everything together. But do yourself a favor, cut yourself some slack and some pressure. I know you want to make a ton of money, and you will. But work on your habits, your trading habits, your thoughts habits. Okay. So for this week, okay, or any other week, I have this structure where you can work on your self-awareness and self-regulation. Maybe Monday we will call it the awareness day. Okay, so every Monday in your journaling, you will identify your top 3 recurring trading thoughts. I want to make money. I cannot lose another trade. I cannot have another red day. Just one more trade. What is happening? 3 top. Okay, so you're very aware on Monday. Then on Tuesday, it's mapping. Okay, when I think that, I have that emotion, and then I do that. All right. Wednesday, distancing. So now you're aware of your thought, and you're just saying, like we did this morning and during our meditation, I'm having the thought that I want to make money today. I'm excited about it. And that you don't do, I mean, you just become aware. So it loses its power on you because now your prefrontal lobe is looking at the crap from the emotional brain and he's like, so you want me to believe that or do something with it? Like, I'm not buying this. We have a plan, remember? Okay. And then it goes back, you know? So that's what you want to do. You want your brain to discuss with all the regions, okay? Thursday, you reframe. So this is advanced cognitive behavioral therapy. Replace meaning, not emotion, okay? Loss is just data. I lost that trade. It's data. At some point, you need to have a stop loss. For my trade now, my stop is at the high because if we're going down, we shouldn't make a new high. So if I get stopped down, yeah, I'm very happy about it. So if I get stopped out, it means that the market was too strong. So at the end of the day, I will go back to my setup, look at it and say, you know what? I'm very happy I stopped there because it was very strong, or it just wicked me out and then it continued going down. So maybe I will set an alert when they fake me out. Data, guys. It's helping you. A losing trade is helping you refine. And sometimes it's just a losing trade. Okay. So it's loss equals data versus loss equals threat. Or like Crede was talking about, linked to my value as a person. If I lose a trade, it's because I'm incompetent. I entertain this core belief, or I'm not likable. People will like me if I make money, but if I suck at this, then people will not like me. So that's why I say that sometimes we need psychotherapy because these beliefs are so wired that it's not possible to change them on your own, or very, very, very difficult.
But I think I'm gonna interject here too. When Dr. V says psychotherapy, she does not mean a trading coach, right? Like she's talking about real psychotherapy that comes from a real like doctorate of psychology that's practicing. You know, there are some things you should come to someone like me, like a trading coach for. This is the reason why Alchemist is a combination between me and Dr. V, right? I inherently realized that there were issues in my mentees that I was not qualified to inject my opinions on how to fix, right? I don't have, you know, this is a very messing with someone's brain, you know what I mean, is a very specialized task that needs a doctor's attention, right? So this is one of the reasons why I wanted to partner with Dr. V here, because for my people who were technically amazing but were missing the mark performance-wise, we needed Dr. V to come in. And I'm going to loop back into Sergio. Sim trading is not good. Need to practice real emotions. No, you don't. There will be a point to where you will need to do that, but not when you're developing your strategy. Again, going back to being a musician, do you want to learn how to play an instrument in front of 10,000 people, or would you rather learn to play it in your garage? Once you're good at it, go play in front of 10,000 people. The technique between the two is exactly the same. One has pressure, one doesn't.
But
So
he's right, because you will have to train your emotions in live, but after you secured the
Yep.
good habits of executing.
Yep. And one will not foster the other. This is my favorite old school country analogy, right? You got the old arguing couple in a trailer that can't get their stuff together, and then all of a sudden they go, you know what we got to do, hun? Let's have a baby. That'll make everything better. You know what I mean? And then and things go crazy because it's like you're struggling, you have an issue inside the thing, and now you're going to add pressure on top of it, thinking that pressure is going to create a diamond. You know what I mean? And that's not generically how pressure can create diamonds, I suppose, but I wouldn't.
Not in your brain.
But not in
Not
your
in
brain.
your brain.
Yeah, not in your
It's just
brain.
a thing. It's just, but at the end of the day, guys, you can do you, okay? I'm just talking about basic biology. If your brain is under uncertainty and you are uncertain about your methods, it is not going to work in life. That's not what you want to practice, because you will trade emotionally and then you will traumatize yourself or build very bad habits that you will have to undo later. So make yourself comfortable, learn how to dance with what you're trading, and then go to the ball, with your nice shoes and stuff.
I mean, it's really important to pay attention to this, because becoming a trader is not, you're not becoming you're not becoming like a financial person, right? This is not what day trading is. You're not a fundamentalist technically. You're not a financial person. All of these different things. It's not a thing. You're a sports professional. You know what I mean? You're the mental acuity you need to have is of the level of like a high performing quarterback, a high performing hockey player. You've got to be at the highest level or the highest echelon of your personal performance, because it's not about what you're doing, it's about what you're not doing, right? It's actually having the maturity and the ability to abstain until the right moment to take the shot, right? That's the hockey player, right? He pulls the stick back, waits that extra second so the guy clears, then fires it. Right? That hesitation was everything. But that's high performance. He knows to do that, right? So you have to take the time to develop that, but you can't develop that on a shaky system, right? So if you don't have good fundamentals, you can't possibly hope to perform, because I learned this actually from my music instructor. She was my private teacher from middle school all the way through high school. Her name was Valerie Gillespie. She was amazing. And what she always taught me was performance was when ability meets knowledge of ability, right? So you have to know how to do it, but then you have to know you know how to do it, right? When those two things come together, you can work on it. So, but first develop the ability in sim, then develop the rest, right?
I just had a dodgeball quote in my head.
Give
When
it
you're
to me.
talking,
Please give me the dodgeball quote.
I know you.
Oh,
You know
I
that
know
I
you.
know that you
You
know
know
you.
that I know you. You know that I know that you know you. That's real.
Sorry.
No,
But yeah,
that's great.
that's totally true. You need to practice, And when we say sim trade, also in sim trading, you have to practice the ability of not trading, of waiting, of repeating the same rules every day, saying, hey, if I have 2 losing trades in a row, I stop trading, or 3 losing trades in a row, I stop trading. Even if it's not real money, it's the habit that is important to form, not the money. We get in for it, it's the last thing on our mind when we are trading. You can have goals, just don't have money goals when you are trading. You have behavioral goals.
Yes.
My win rate in my behaviors. What is my win rate following my rules? That's how you know if you're cut for this job or not. Can you follow the rules? right? Before you go live, like, can you? Like, is it possible or not? If it's not, that's totally fine. Then continue working on it.
You're not going to develop the rule following on the back end of this, by the way. Like I would actually, someone asked me in a Thursday webinar last week, like what they thought my edge was in trading, and I actually told them I think it's rule following. I do have like I think decent and awareness, which I think is important, which I've developed more. But the one thing that helped me and why I was able to develop a system that's as verbose as mine is I'm very good at repetitive. I make a decision. This is how I do a thing, and then I can do the thing I say I'm going to do when I'm going to do it, and I can do that regardless of outcome. Like I don't care if I lose trades. It doesn't bother me. Actually, I've got this weird like thing now. I kind of almost egg them on a little bit. Like give me a loser. Like I don't care. Like I will show everybody on this YouTube channel the sexiest loser you've ever seen in your entire life. Like it will look beautiful. And then when you see it, you'll know exactly why I got in. You'll know exactly why I got out. And the consistency will win you over even if I lose money. Right?
And you know why it's
then you see my
sexier?
winners. What's sexier?
It's, you know why
Other than
it's
this money show shit.
sexier? Yeah. What is sexier is that, let's say, me hitting my target on RTY is not me. It's the market. I have no control. It's not me being a good trader if I hit my target. But if I respect my stop and I put my stop where it makes sense and I lose the trade, that's all me. So that's sexier because now I'm in full control of it. I decided to put my stop there. This is where I am wrong according to the chart. And I respected it. And I did not revenge after I was stopped out. I mean, yes, you can brag about that. That is huge, guys.
So of my recent mentees, one of them I worked with, we actually went through and eliminated his discretionary trades. So just things outside of his system. As soon as we did that, he was paying his bills that month. Like the only reason he was not like it was his best month he had ever had, by the way, and he was doing great. So at this point, we're starting to look where are you not making your money? And it's anytime it was a discretionary trade. Anytime he stuck with the system, he was rewarded beautifully. If he was stopped in the system, it was manageable. Like it was just great. So these are the things that take you to the next level. This is why, again, I talk about this maybe endlessly on these, but this is why working with someone like Dr. V specifically is so damn important, right? Like it's not, I have to say this as gently as I can, but it's not good enough just to work with any coach on your head issues. If you're really having true performance issues, like you should be working with a psychologist and ideally a psychologist that actually knows the pitfalls of trading. Right? And there are very, very few of those, right? So there's lots of performance psychologists all over the internet, all over the place. Very few of them actually have traded, been successful at trading, or at least went through enough of that process to relate to you. So when we're talking here on this is why this Wednesday segment was so important for me to segment in for everybody on YouTube to get Dr. V in here every single week, because I truly believe that when all of you hit your success, that will come on the back of a eureka moment that came through a varied performance, likely on this Wednesday show or working with us, because I really think that's where you're going to come from. Trading itself is actually very easy. We said this at the intro, right? Being a trader is very hard.
Yeah.
Right? Like doing the things you need to do appropriately to be successful, while the trade does the things you don't think it's going to do, but because this is the performance, that is very, very hard, right? Not listening to that, not listening to that nagging thing constantly yelling at the side of your head, telling you need to do something you didn't plan on doing. Like Dr. V just outlined, for the record, by the way, thank you so much. Like you went through a 5-point daily step on if you're having some of these issues, ways to identify, address, and then start to make some changes on your own. But and that's very, very helpful. But you guys and gals, if you're going to get to the next level and you're going to get to where you need to go, it's going to be done here, with this kind of stuff. So you feel like your rules are not outlined deep enough. I kind of look at my losing trades and say, well, I kind of followed it. Well, that's not, yeah. So I think too, simplicity. Maybe they are outlined deep enough. Maybe they're actually outlined too deep.
Too deep, yeah.
You know what I mean? When I see what you're saying there, V, are you with me on this one? When I see that, I think maybe it's too deep, not deep enough, right? I think it's too deep. I think you have too many rules, so you can't follow them. I would actually go through and simplify. Start looking at your levels, go naked with your charts. You know what I mean? Take everything off your chart and only add the key elements you need in order to take the trade, and then build a handful of rules, should fit on a note card, and go.
And you should know your technical analysis 101 very well too, okay? I see too many traders with a tunnel vision on the 1 minute chart, and they have no idea what's going to happen. They have no idea that when they short, it shouldn't make a new high. It looks easy, okay? But make sure you understand how the market moves, and make sure you understand your own recipe. That's very, very important. And again, like I said in the beginning, being comfortable. And before the show ends today, I thought you were mentioning I'm very good at following rules. Okay, if I put myself in the shoes of a new trader, a developing trader, it looks easy when we hear you say, "Oh, I'm just good at following rules." But what made you good about following your rules?
So part of this is actually a natural inclination. So some of this is maybe not fair, because when if I was in the middle of the woods at a red light, and that red light was stopped and would not turn green, I would not run the red light, right? Like, I would actually stop, look both ways, turn right, right? If it said no turn on red on right, I would probably U-turn, right? And just go find a different way. Because to make that turn would cause me, I don't break the law, and breaking the law, well, at least not intentionally, I don't break the law. That would actually violate my principles. So for me, it's actually about having principles over behaviors, right? Like I don't ever lose more than 1 hour on a trade, because I don't ever lose more than 1 hour on a trade. It's not possible.
So you're saying there's personality traits there,
Yeah.
okay? That you maybe felt less emotional than most people.
Yeah,
But
I feel
for
better
the-
when I follow rules than I do when I lose.
Okay, but for the rest of us mortals, okay, that have a trouble, I think there's something else, because you had your difficult moments in the beginning, because
Oh,
you
of
have a
course.
brain, right?
Yeah.
So there's something else. Yes, you like to follow your rules, but there's something else that made you want to follow the rules. And what was it?
So there was a lot of results based, right? So I
There
did
you
follow
go. Information.
I did follow my rules in the beginning quite well. But once I got through once I defined them, that was the difficult part. Like, a lot of my early things on were like I had bag holding issues, because I had learned some doubling down stuff from in there, and so some really bad behavioral stuff. But once I kind of outlined how detrimental that particular activity was, that basically stopped me from losing money ever again. Because not that I wouldn't lose money, but I mean, it just mean major drawdowns. They all stopped. Right. So then it started. Actually, Samir just kind of said something. It's actually became a self-respect issue. So for me, I start to feel like if I violate my rules, then I'm disrespecting myself. So that's what makes me not happy, right? I get not happy when I'm not doing what I say I'm going to do, because that is in line with my personality. So once I kind of found me in trading, then the behavior spawned results. What I started noticing first was I started breaking even a lot. Okay, well, why am I break even now? So I would go into the data. Oh, it's because I'm taking a partial at 2R. Right. And it's like, okay, well, I'm taking a partial at 2R. Recently, I was going for 4-to-1s all the time. Right. So why do I not go for 4-to-1s anymore? Well, because after I ran through the data, I actually realized that I could take more losses. And as long as I went for ATRs or the levels instead, I would make more money. So what I've done is I've allowed the consistent behavior to allow a very very manageable sample set of data that I can mine and consistently make improvements. So I've been steadily growing over the course of maybe, 7 to 8 years now. I've been steadily increasing, and then most recently, maybe in the past couple of months, as you know, all of those things kind of all hit at the same time. Like all of the good behaviors matched everything. And then it's like, boom. And then once it happened a couple of times in that capacity, I was like, all right, I'm in. You know what I mean? Like I've seen enough evidence now personally to be a believer. You know what I mean? So I now, and so now I have the ability and the knowledge of ability that I was kind of always needing. So it's like, so now it's all in line. I think
Yes.
I got that.
Yeah, it's exactly true. So maybe it's easier for you personality wise. Maybe you have more self-respect than most people,
I had to develop more self-respect to do that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's perfect. But the data, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what happens if you keep breaking the rules. And it's not making you a successful trader. So it's an identity shift. So self-respect comes in and is developed because we want to become somebody else for our trading and for our life in general. So every time we don't behave in that, like a successful trader never revenge trade. So if you find yourself like having revenge every day, you're never gonna be a successful trader.
Yeah, never.
But at the end of the day, what kind of trader do you want to be? If you want to be a gambler, that's totally fine. But go to the casino. The market will be so rude to you, maybe more than the casino. Okay. So I would say, yeah, the data is so important. So not touching your trade when it's on is so important for that.
I really started this kind of let it thought. Just let it be a loser or let it be a winner. Just let the trade realize whatever its potential is, and then you can actually gauge the result. Like this double top that Dr. V is in that is melting on RTY right now. More bids to the downside. So this is looking really good. So everybody out there in YouTube land, I think Dr. V gave you basically all the knowledge today. I really hope you guys appreciate these sessions with her. Make sure you're following her on her media. It's at Dr. V Charlin.
Just Dr. Charlin.
Dr. Charlin, that's right.
Yeah.
So at Dr. Charlin on IG, you can also find us, marketalchemist.org, right? If you're interested in personal mentoring or coaching of any kind. We're happy to have that. A gentle reminder, today at 4 p.m. Eastern, I will be all over the place. So come find me and have some fun. I will post some links out into my medias for everyone to do that. So again, Dr. V, my favorite day of the week. Thank you so much for hanging. I just opened up the other room.
Yeah.
So
And I'm there
Dr. V
tonight
is now
too.
there, and we have a presentation tonight with Dr. V in there. So come by BBT. It's a good reason to subscribe right now. So
Don't
we'll see
trade
you there.
alone, guys.
That's right. Dr. V, thank you so much for your time. We really
Thank you
appreciate
so much. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you and all our people. We love you so much. We appreciate you so much. And we want your success, and we want to be emotionally naked together every Wednesday. So have a good rest of your week, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.